See, you don't use it for a couple of days. It tends to stick. I've got to use another lube oil. Niners! Family, are you starting to feel better? You know? You got to adopt that Bobby McFerrin thing. Don't worry. Be happy. I know we got to get through this. You know what? I think I'll feel better. We'll all feel better after the Super Bowl's over. Just because knowing it's coming up next week and we should be there, but we're not going to be, right? So it's going to take a little bit of push on your own part to make yourself feel better. But anyway, let's get right into football, 49ers football. Survive a season healthy, right? Because, Sam, when you go back to Jimmy Garoppolo first came to us, he came in only because they tried. The guy who really is a tough guy, though, when you look at C.J. Beathard got hit. You talk about a guy who could take a hit. If he could play better football, Beathard would have been the guy. But I say that, but I'm serious because the thing is, Beathard can take abuse like I've never seen a human being take it and still get up. But anyway, Jimmy Garoppolo enters on that note. He wasn't even supposed to play that year. So he enters on that note. And then, of course, he comes in the next year and again gets hurt. And CJ comes back and gets beat to death again. And then, of course, Mullins comes into the picture the following year. Every quarterback we've had has endured extreme pain. Okay, no downers. But the fact of the matter is, the reasons why the Niners have gone through so many quarterbacks has reached a new level and sparked plenty of speculation. People are wondering, what's going on with this, man? Why? Tom Brady has retired while Aaron Rodgers has publicly announced any desire for playing for the San Francisco 49ers is out. It's not going to happen. He did that right in front of a massive audience on that golf tournament. Some guy was I don't know how he must have a microphone on. No, I'm not going to San Francisco. With an attitude, too. He was never, Aaron, $50 million. Nobody's going to pay you that in San Francisco anyway. But you don't need to get all nasty about it. I mean, come on. As far as I'm concerned, a lot of people rate you as being one of the greatest of all time. I say you're a regular season quarterback. And that's pretty much where it ends. You got one Super Bowl, but comes to playoff time, you do have your issues, don't you? Anyway, the Niners are on their own with no fantasy quarterback signing to entertain for the upcoming season. Sort of leaves a void in some people's seasons, right? Get Tom Brady. Tom says, not a chance of that happening, Jack. I'm out of here. And then you heard about Aaron. There's no more fantasy quarterbacks, is there? Not really. Lamar Jackson, no. $250 million guaranteed? Nearly $300 million guaranteed? No, it's not going to happen. So the Niners are on their own with no fantasy quarterback signing entertained for the upcoming season tonight. Let's go to the phones for your take of the current situation with the Niners' two young remaining quarterbacks going into 2023. Because I'm reading what George Kittle's saying and some of the other guys are saying because I'd still be pissed off. Rudy, you know what? I need to apologize to you because every time you say one friggin' word on Twitter, I'm all over you. I have been all over Rudy. I've been cruel. You know what? Rudy brings it on himself. He pisses me off calling him saying the things he's saying, though. But Rudy, you deserve that. Between you and I, we're going to go back and forth. No hate. But when you come in Twitter, I'm going to get you, man. I'm telling you. I'm just letting you know. But the thing is, the Niners' revolving quarterback door has left the team with two options entering the 2023 season. Like I said, George Kittle has said great things about both Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. He feels confident. Nick Bosa, we're talking about the pieces that are coming back. It's time to get yourself out of the funk, Make it. If you come in, I hate that yucky feeling. Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, the guys we're talking about, both are returning from injuries, and one, Purdy has yet to undergo surgery to repair his medical issue, leaving room for uncertainty as the Niners venture into the offseason. The Niners have plenty of time, though, to let the surgery and rehab process play out with Purdy's elbow while expecting Lance to return in time. I understand he's going to be back in about 3 weeks. He'll be perfectly fine. He'll be cleared to play and pass, work out, and do all those things from his ankle injury for OTAs. You know, be careful, Trey. My God, just be careful. I mean, you don't even have to be on the football field. Just be careful, man. Coach Shanahan said Wednesday, quote, "It sounds like we'll at least have one guy for it," unquote. See, these are the things that bring on anxieties and depressions amongst the Niner Empire members. God, don't say things like that. Here's the thing, fam. Brock Purdy, I think, still needs another diagnosis or two before they decide whether or not it's TJ surgery or not, right? And I mean Tommy John surgery. Just a repair would give him 6 months to be back, and then, of course, you know that's going to lag. And so, what is clear, though, is Jimmy G will not be back. When asked if there was a scenario in which Garoppolo, who's recovered from his own foot injury, would return for another year with his Niners, Shanahan answered bluntly and quickly, "No, I don't see any scenario of that." So I got a feeling Jimmy told him, don't even think about it. I really do. I mean, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, you guys, I'm not coming back as a backup, and I'm not going to go for this and that. And you know what? I tell you what, truth. Being over here is friggin' dangerous. You know what I mean? If I'm Jimmy, that's the first thing I think at this point. You know, I've come back how many times? I'm not coming back a fourth or fifth time. It's not going to happen. Because, you know what? I'm going to get hurt again, and I guarantee it coming over. That's why I'm worried about our guys now. What are the odds of every last quarterback going down? Is there a mojo? Is it some people are blaming Kyle? Is it our scheme? What is it? So Niners are going to say farewell to JG for the second year in a row to focus on the future. Now, what that might look like remains to be determined. Coach Shanahan expressed confidence in both Purdy and Lance, resisting the notion that San Francisco might need to sign a starter-level veteran for 2023. I know. When you get on the phone, we'll touch upon that, because you know what? No, Kyle, you're not. You need a third quarterback no matter what. And you're not drafting one to fill that void, Kyle. Quit tripping, man. Shan said this about that, though. "I know we have two starters on our team right now that I believe we can win with. So when you have that situation, you're not that eager to go looking around," unquote. Purdy's emergence as a quality quarterback was among the most surprising or shocking developments in the NFL in 2022. The kid was the last pick. He was the very last pick of the 2022 draft. Get out of here with this. Mrs. Purdy's baby boy was nothing more than a third quarterback who occupied a roster spot, but rarely dressed out for games. He's over there shooting the breeze with the guys and asking them where they're going after the game and things like that. He wasn't concerned about the game. Well, he probably was at the point when he started dressing out and had to be ready at any time. But suddenly, there he was. The 49ers lost Lance for the season, forcing Purdy to suit up for afternoons, spent on that sideline with a clipboard and saying things like, "Coach, you need anything? I'm going to go back and get a cup of coffee. You bring anything?" But suddenly, boom, Garoppolo suffered a season-ending injury. Enter Mr. Irrelevant. Purdy was suddenly all the 49ers had left, and they soon realized he could be the best option on the damn team. Purdy's rise and undefeated run to the NFC Championship game, where the dream came true, created a conundrum, though. See, first of all, getting there in the fashion that he did, it's like a lot of us sitting back saying, when JG went down, "Oh, Jesus. God, that friggin' poop is over." No, it's not. Here he comes, right? The conundrum is now there. It's a good one to have, though. I'm sure John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan understand. Which of the two youngsters would be the guy in 2023 is a question now. Of course, Coach Shanahan told reporters Wednesday he hasn't taken the time to consider answering this question. Besides, the Niners, as you know, are currently focusing on finalizing their coaching staff for 2023, especially after D.C. D'Amico left to take over as head coach of the Texans. D'Amico, I still don't understand how come you did that, man. You know they're going to – if you don't go to the Super Bowl the first year, they're going to be considering getting you out of there anyway. Miko, I don't know about that. Man, you probably should have went to Denver. They wanted you anyway over Sean. Anyway, the guys are doing that. Kyle's looking at that and allowing both Lance and Purdy to continue on their roads back to the field. Meanwhile, Brock Pierce still seeking additional opinions on how to proceed with his torn UCL suffered in the NFC title game, which he should probably call Nick Mullins. Yo, Nick, man. Yeah, Brock, I was expecting him to call. What do you want? Oh, yeah, I bet you probably know what I'm on. Well, yeah, listen, I tell you what. If I were you, I got some names I can give you to look at your elbow, man. But you know what? Keep the card, man. I haven't been hurt since I left there. You wouldn't have conversations like that being carried on amongst players. But it does sound as surgery will end up being the best option, charting a 6-month course about which everybody's optimistic, primarily because Purdy shouldn't face the difficulties returning form that more common occur with ACL injuries. So they say once it's healed, You're okay. In fact, they may add a little zip, and he needs that. Because looking back on some of the film, Lombardi pointed it out, you know what? As bad as we talked about Croft, he did slow him down just a tiny bit. Brock needed to get the ball out just a little sooner. This is the thing about rookies. They don't really understand the NFL speed so quickly. And Brock had to be a quick read. Bless his heart. He was doing the best he could, but he'll be better for it. But unfortunately, he's got to go through that pain of a surgery on his arm. Oh, my God. Coach Shanahan doesn't feel he deserves the heat he's getting for the quarterbacks going down one after another. Do you agree? That is one of the questions tonight. And as you know, Vic Fangio is off the table for D.C. The Niners are talking to Steve Wilks. You have any suggestions you feel about that, feel strongly about it? I think the 49ers want to move away from the Vic Fangio thing anyway because Vic, his expertise is 3-4. Kyle Shanahan wants, 4-3, 3-4. Kyle wants to stay with the 4-3. So they are talking to Steve Wilks. Oh, and by the way, veteran quarterbacks. See, this is where the bad taste gets in your mouth. If the 49ers are going to go out and find a veteran quarterback, there's not that many available. If the Hawks don't sign Geno Smith, he's available. See what I mean? Geno Smith. He wasn't bad last year. He wasn't. Marcus Mariota. Ryan Fitz. Nick Mullins, of course. Tyrod Taylor. I can't believe they got rid of Nick already in Minnesota. Fitzpatrick kind of appeals to me. I don't know how he's doing these days or what kind of shape he's in. But I think the 49ers could talk him into coming back. And Fitz likes the role of mentor. The rest of those guys are going to try to beat out our starters. But they're going to feel like they deserve to. Fitz. Magic. Honestly, I'm serious. Of all these guys, I like Fitz. Gets the ball out quick. One thing about Fitz, too, is he starts out the season usually smoking hot. And if we could just get a start, 49ers only have to get started. Because once they get past 5 or 6 weeks, 49ers all of a sudden turn into a different beast. So, there you go, fam. Food for you to think about. Get in here and tell me feel about the quarterback situation and all that other stuff. Big Show. Well, he says, this is the arrogance of Shanahan that ticks me off. Your quarterback situation hasn't been settled and have no long-term answer. Still at the position. And you say, going into the season, we have 2 starters you're content with. No, Show, it's worse. He says, well, at least I know we'll have 1. Kyle, this is not the time for it to be funny, Kyle. Show, thanks for that. Kyle, don't do that again. Oh, my God. That was just the wrong thing to say. Well, at least I know we got 1 quarterback. Maybe he's shook up and in trauma behind what just happened. Let me get in here. That maestro of the Dragon household. He is the leader of the pack. Papa Dragon. Pop, get in here, will you please?
Hey, thanks, Ronbo. Thanks for having me.
I mean, you remind me of George Kittle doing that sound of that. You had the same energy and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I was just thinking to myself, Ronbo, I was like, if you were my quarterback and you busted up your right arm, I would walk right up to you, Ronbo, and I say, hey, are you ambidextrous? Can you go lefty?
Can you do it with your feet?
He is such he is such a meathead. Oh
I
my
love him for that though. I don't want him to ever change. Be that same meathead because
no, no, you gotta have guys
God,
like
he
that in the locker room.
kills me.
No, you gotta have guys like that in the locker
Oh
room for
man,
sure. But
boy,
yeah, let's talk some football, man. Let's talk
yeah.
some football.
Uh,
So I don't believe in the blame game. I believe in the solution game.
and good.
And I think ultimately, right now, that's where Shanahan is failing. It's just, I'm not saying that he is the reason his quarterbacks get injured, but I do believe that in their system, although they're not running a RPO system, it's very similar with a lot of fakes and misdirections and leaving people unblocked. And if I was a defensive coordinator, and I learned this a long time ago, you hit the quarterback to affect the quarterback. So, it's kind of like when we were in the Super Bowl with Kaepernick and the
Yeah.
RPO was working all year. Now, all of a
Mhm.
sudden, people started hitting Kaepernick. Although, whether he kept the ball or handed it off, he was getting hit anyway. That's in the rules. If your quarterback is making a play action fake, you can hit the quarterback. That's how the rule works. So, very, very smart of a team that has 70 sacks on a season to ignore those play fakes and go after the quarterback. Just
That's what
like
they
I believe
did.
it's
They gambled on
unwise.
that play exactly, and it
Yeah.
worked.
Just like it's unwise for a team to show up against a team that has 70 sacks and just try to think that you're just going to go out there and just fool these guys. That was unwise.
Extremely.
Um, and in the reality is it's costing you the game is one thing,
Mm-hmm.
but now it potentially costs you next season because the reality is that at this particular point, I believe it's clear. I believe it's clear. On top of all the pressure that Trey Lance faces being picked how he was picked
Mm.
and everything given up for him, it's quite clear that I don't believe that the locker room has the patience, nor do the fans have the patience to let Trey develop, which is sad.
And unfair,
Um,
really unfair, because what's taking place. 2 years missed through injury,
right
and from
now,
what you're pointing out so far, this is the thing. Is there any way we can do to curb this? But go ahead.
I don't know what we can do to curb it at this point. Like the defensive lines are so far ahead of the offensive talent in the
Oh,
NFL,
that's the thing.
and we have neglected the offensive line, in my opinion, ever since they drafted McGlinchey in the first place. Because they essentially drafted a run blocker and not a pass protector. And we saw what happened with Jimmy, but it's not just Jimmy. Think about the scheme.
That's been proven.
Miami Dolphins, the Jets all run the same system we do, and they suffered quarterback injuries this year, almost very similarly to how our quarterback got knocked out of the game.
And as he
And
says that, coincidence? Coincidence? Kind of
no, I
hard
don't
to
think
call
so.
that a coincidence.
I don't think so. I think again, if you're a defensive coordinator and you're watching people's tendencies, you have Trent Williams, who will give away plays probably 40% of the time. He's unwilling to change what he
His
does.
foot.
You know, you have that little situation. You have weakness on the right side, although I'm optimistic that Burford will be a good player one day. Um, those things, help lead to what was there when the reality is, when you go on the road, your special teams and your run game is supposed to carry it. So even if you do run that play action fake, but again, which I would not do that. Not against that team. I would only run it probably in the second half of the game after I've established the run. Because you want the defensive player to second guess himself. But I'm telling you, and I've been told this by some people who are kind of in the know, that the book is out on this offensive system, where it's basically ignore all of the motions,
all the things,
all the movements,
and
the trickery, and just go hit the quarterback. Yeah,
and
just go get the quarterback.
Broke his arm off his body. The Packers. GB Fool points out something though, real quick, because we only got a couple seconds here. Fam, the Packers run it. Rodgers has survived.
Yeah, but you know what? Rodgers is not playing hero ball either. Rodgers will get rid of the ball.
Yeah, you now get rid of the damn ball. That's true.
He's been in the league a long time. And then number two, although they run the same system, they do run it differently. They run it based on how Rodgers wants to run it. So they don't run a lot of misdirections like Shanahan does. They hit you straight ahead.
And the key words there, they run it like Rodgers wants to run it. He's got the intelligence. He's got the IQ. He's been in the league forever. Oh, see, we don't have that. And we don't have it coming up. I'm still scared for these guys.
But Rodgers wouldn't have that if he played for Shanahan. That's what I'm saying. Just in how he answered the questions in the press conference, he could have easily said, look, it's unfortunate what happened. We're definitely going to look into what we can do to try to protect our quarterbacks and our franchise in the future. He could have just said that, and he didn't.
Weird.
He was very smart. So.
Let's get together Sunday. I mean, we got a lot to talk about all season long, but I hope Shanahan's listening and his ego calms down a minute and makes some damned adjustments. But I'll see you Sunday, Bill. Thanks, Paul.
Hey, Ronbo, one more thing, Ronbo.
Can you do it in 10 seconds?
Can you give us a birthday shout out for the Twin Dragons?
Oh no! Of course we can.
They're 10 years old now.
Oh, and brilliant as can be. I love their football breakdowns when you bring them in. Let us hold on a second here.
Here we go.
Happy 90th birthday to Bam Boom. Happy 90th birthday. It's been a decade, and they've not yet seen anything more than a lot of screw-ups by the 49ers. Bam and boom. Happy. I know.
He's saying happy birthday to you guys. Say thank you, Boom. Say it forever when he comes back. He's coming back.
Bam! Boom! Happy birthday!
Say thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Did you wake those little ones up to say thank you? You could have brought
No, they were hanging out tonight, man. We're watching Terminator 2, and we're hanging out.
All right.
And they're a little drowsy, though. Bam, say thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, Bam.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
That's my
Please
pleasure.
like and subscribe to Ronbo Sports. Shout out to production and the big show.
Thanks, Bam. Talk to you later. Night, Bam Boom. Happy birthday. And let's go check out Phil.
Okay.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Phil. I tell you, it's being brought up. It's hard to run from it. You look at the other teams where 49 coaches have went, and quarterbacks are being taken out right and left. Phil, I know you got another clever twist on this. What are you thinking?
Ronbo, let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
We've got a Super Bowl with two dinged-up quarterbacks starting. Okay?
Yeah,
quarterbacks
true.
get hurt.
That's true.
And Mahomes was just inches close from getting that ankle really torn.
Yeah, that's true.
And let me tell you, Hurts is not healthy either, because he only threw a few times against the 49ers because he didn't have to, because we didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, another good point.
But the good news is Brock's going to take 3 months to recover, 3 months of throwing to build up his arm strength, and by the time preseason starts, he'll be ready. These doctors
think that the TJ is
so much better than they used to be.
Yeah, you've heard about. I mean, it's pretty much TJ's not going to happen to him.
Yeah, it's not.
Good.
And one of the doctors that I heard from, on a YouTube video was that when they do Tommy John, it's because the tendon is shredded.
Oh,
And it happens a lot in baseball because the guy pitches over and over and over and over
throwing
again.
for 2 hours. Yeah.
But this was a one-time shot to an arm, which is more a shock, but it doesn't shred the tendon typically. So he's probably going to be a 3 months to get healthy. So, my expectation is that I think the 49ers are the same. And in a few weeks, Trey will be, ready to throw and practice.
3, from what I understand, yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks. And, these guys, those are the quarterbacks we're going to go into the season with.
Now, see,
And
Phil, touch upon that a bit, too, while you're going in that direction. Now, you need a third quarterback, and like Teddy pointed out on ESPN, the 49ers.
Here's my guess.
Huh?
Here's my guess on the veteran backup.
Okay.
And I think they're going to go after a veteran.
They need to.
But what about Matty Ice?
See, I thought about that. As long as he doesn't have a problem with Kyle, would you come and play for Kyle again if you went through what they went through together?
Yeah, because he was the MVP of the league under Kyle.
True. So, but they did have some issues about certain things. But you know what? I think every quarterback's gonna have to go through that with Kyle to some degree. So we'll find out. But Matty Ice, he's out there, isn't he? I don't know if he's gonna. Yeah.
Well, he's got one more year with Indy, but I think Indy's going to cut him.
You think so?
Which will free him up
and draft another quarter. Do they have a high round draft pick this year? They'll probably trade up to get one. Is there anybody in the draft that anybody would want this year that badly? Because trading up for picks is
Indy's
trading
like top 4.
Yeah,
they were one of the worst teams in football.
I know. The most embarrassing loss of all time.
But we've got our own free agents that we need to get, and more importantly, I think the quarterback room we're actually in good shape.
Yeah.
And as far as talking about the offensive line, our offensive line did well this year. Brendel was third ranked at center for pass protection.
I understand he was an ultimate
Banks was really high.
Yeah.
Burford was the weak link, actually, in pass protection. And McGlinchey had a solid year. So our offensive line was not the problem. And when Purdy got hurt, it was a play-action pass, 7-foot step drop. He goes back to throw it, and Ridgeway did not bite on the play action at all. And the tight end whiffed on the block. So that wasn't Kyle. So, people blame Kyle for this stuff. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Actually, and I understand also, if he gets Ayuk was already open. If he lets that ball go, I'm talking about Brock, he lets that ball go quicker. A split second earlier, we got a big play, possibly a touchdown.
That's a rookie mistake.
Yeah.
That's what rookies do. They make mistakes like that.
Well, they
take a little bit more time. Brady would get rid of the ball in 2 seconds. Boom, out.
That's what makes you that's a Pro Bowler versus a rookie, I know.
Yeah. And then, Jimmy would hang on to the ball too long. A lot of times. And make himself susceptible to a hit.
Yeah.
So you got to get the ball out. You got to get the ball out quicker, and that's the problem. It's not the O-line. The O-line was fine. But we need to sign some free agents. Brendel's guy we need to sign. Robbie is a guy we need to sign. I would go after.
He is. Yeah, he does.
I would go after.
That he does. Let's get in those. Let's get in those free agents. Let's get into that Sunday. Can we do that, Phil? Because we're out of time now. Because that's going to be a fun thing to talk about. Who we're going to bring back? Who
I'm
we're going
just saying that these quarterback injuries, they happen.
Yeah.
Look at the Rams. They lost their quarterback to the elbow problem.
That's the only thing that makes me feel good now is looking at the Rams.
I mean, half the quarterbacks in the league get hurt.
Yeah. Lamar
So-
Jackson
and
gets hurt
they're
every
protected.
year. Yeah.
What can you do?
I know.
Anyway, Rombo,
All right. Phil, always a pleasure.
I'll get off my pedestal now.
Yeah. And put the mic down. Drop the mic, actually.
All right.
Phil. I'll see you Sunday if you got time.
Okay.
Night, Phil.
Later.
Later. Bye. And the Big Show says what Phil fails to tell you is they don't get injured every year like ours do. It's a consistent theme ever since Shanahan's been here every year. See, the thing is, what Phil just said, it holds merit. You got half the league's quarterbacks in pain. But at the same time, how come we can never fail? We never fail. Not 1 year can we fail. Well, I'm sorry. 2019. You know what's ironic about 2019? We go the whole season without Jimmy going down to dust. After he got off an ACL injury fact. You go the whole year, and where do we end up? Terradome! Terradome, 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 Terradome. All right, we'll come back. Terradome, he might be busy doing something. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Ronbo, how was your night going?
It's going okay now. I'm starting. You know how you recover from injury, wounds,
Oh, yeah,
things like that.
oh, yeah.
I'm starting to get over this thing with the NFCCG. I don't care. I'm just, disappointed.
Same thing. Right after the Super Bowl's done, it's going to be a whole new season. After the Super Bowl's done, we'll start fresh.
Yeah. Everybody gets a clean slate. And whoever wins the Super Bowl gets to walk around and say, yeah, we're the 2023 champions. Okay, it's all right. Rudy was doing that last year, too. Let's wait a few months and enjoy that.
Keep and see who we cut. Yep.
Michael, you know what? I have one question for you, though. If we would have kept Hassan Reddick rather than cut him, could we have changed our fate? Okay.
I think we would have done good with him. I think that's a curse.
Okay.
Should have kept him.
Anyway, Coach Shanahan doesn't feel he deserves the heat for quarterbacks getting hurt. How do you feel about us having two quarterbacks, and do you want a veteran? You want to go through some of those things, will you?
I like to have three quarterbacks. I'm old school. When 49ers always had three quarterbacks, Montana, Young, and Steve Bono. So you got to figure, it's always good to have a third quarterback.
Got it. You got to learn your system. Can't come out there not knowing what he's doing. So.
That's why I was used to three quarterbacks with Steve Young, Montana, and Bono. And Bono was a good quarterback, too, for a third string.
Yeah, he was.
He
didn't feel crazy. You didn't get scared when he came on the field. Yeah.
Nope, he wasn't. He was great. I remember those days. But no, I think the Niners should look into a veteran quarterback. Maybe somebody not too expensive, but somebody that's decent. Like I was thinking about going after the Browns backup quarterback. Or maybe going after
Teddy. What's that?
The
guy from out of the Patriot system. Him?
No, he was from the Patriots, then he went to Cleveland to back up the guy that was suspended for 7 games. Remember?
No,
the Browns. Jacob, or you know what I'm talking about? The quarterback.
About somebody else.
Remember that guy that started? Yeah, he started with the Browns.
Wait a minute.
The other guy's suspension was over.
Wait a minute. Joseph Mahoney says, didn't Hassan check in with us for a few weeks or a few days? That wasn't Reddick. Some guy from the Cardinals came over with us and got cut. I thought that was Hassan. Okay, anyway, go ahead. I thought it was him.
No, but
anyway, anybody in the chat, Jacoby Brissett, are we talking about? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's the guy we're talking about. Yeah, the guy that started. So the other guy came back from a suspension. Yeah, no, he's good. I think he'd be doing good. Or another guy too is Tyrell Taylor. Is another guy.
Yeah. Polished.
But I just want a quarterback that's good with our system, that knows our system, and maybe somebody that maybe Shanahan knows.
That's
know?
all he's going to get. He doesn't like to.
Hey, maybe bring
Shannon
Matt
won't,
Ryan.
he won't train a veteran, so it is going to be Matt
No.
Ryan. I think it is.
If Matt Ryan would be all right. You know, you're only going to keep him. What worse can you get? He's got weapons. Not like he don't have weapons.
Oh, I have plenty of weapons. I mean,
No.
just
Oh, he has
blessed
so
with
many weapons that you and I could go out there and throw balls around.
Damn right. If you could just get rid of it quickly, before those guys get here.
And throw them. Yeah, that's what I.
Damn.
Another guy that I like that Cohn was talking about, he's not bad. I wouldn't mind getting him later in the 5th round. That UCLA quarterback supposed to be pretty good.
Hey, I got no problem with rounds anymore. Look what happened in the 7th round. This is why I can't wait for the draft.
No.
I want to see what surprise comes this year. Every year we get this unbelievable surprise out of the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, just every year.
Hey, whatever. Oh, yeah. Maybe some of these guys you don't know might fall later on the draft, and we grab them.
Like Brock
The
Purdy.
main thing is offensive line.
Like
Yeah,
Dre
Brock Purdy,
Greenlaw.
dime a
Like
dozen.
George Kittle. The list goes on and on.
Yep. A dime a dozen. So hard to find gems like that sometimes, and the Niners know how to find them.
Yeah, got good scouting crews.
Yep. Think of all the people who could have drafted Kittles. Imagine how many teams could have gone after Kittles or
How many
Greenlaw, and then
wanted
they freaking, you know what I mean? Hey, look at Tom Brady with a 6th-round draft pick. Look what happened. A lot of teams passed on him, and look how many Super Bowls that dude won for the Patriots.
He's gonna be.
See?
Nobody's ever gonna catch him. That record will stand
Nope.
till the end of time. That's all there is. Nobody's gonna get.
Probably
no
be
one
there
quarterback's
till the
got
day
7
I'm.
rings.
No. There's nobody that's going to beat him. I don't think there's nobody going to beat him. Nobody. You and I can. There's no way.
I mean, your,
That record's gonna be so
your
hard to
grandchildren's grandchildren will not see a quarterback with 7 more than 7 rings. It's not going to happen. Not in the NFL. Not
No.
now.
You know how hard it is for a quarterback like that to have or win 7 Super Bowls or more like that? No. It's hard.
Not a chance.
And with Patriots and Belichick, I mean, come on. And they won one in Tampa. I mean, come on. He's all set now. He's got, and he's going to be working in the, I heard he got a job too, Tom Brady, working at Fox for 30. He got 38 something, I guess. He's going to be working for Fox football now.
When you're born under
So
the
Tom
lucky
Brady
star,
got a
Michael,
job now.
when you're born under the lucky star, you're just born under it. There's nothing you can do wrong. Nothing you can do
No.
wrong.
They gave him a job right away. So, yep. So
It's all you believe that he might not
football.
be good in the booth. When you look at Tony Romo, you got to go in and invent yourself in a way that stands out. Can Tom do that? He's got a personality. We'll see. I think
He's
they're
got a
wrong about it.
personality. We'll see what happens. I mean, hey, I would like to see him. Hey, it won't hurt. Be nice.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how he does it. Well, fam, we're gonna go. We're gonna. I'll see you Sunday.
All right.
We're gonna go over some other things in
Sunday's
probably.
perfect. Also, want to wish that girl a happy birthday. Got to wish her
Yeah,
happy
boom,
birthday.
yeah.
All the Niners. Right. Happy birthday. Can't be 10 years old. Well, my nephew will be 6 on Sunday. I'm trying to get him to be a 49er fan.
What do you mean trying to get him to? Does he like somebody else?
Well, his father's a Giants fan, but I'm going to try to get him to being a Niners fan.
Oh, he'll get over that. He just sees the Giants play a couple of years.
He will. He will. Don't worry. He's
Danny
good at
Dimes out there throwing
football.
nickels.
He's good at throwing footballs.
All
So
right.
that's one thing good. Yeah, maybe.
I love it. All right, Michael.
But,
Looking forward to hearing from you Friday or Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's perfect. Sunday will come by fast.
All right. Thanks, fam. Have a great night. Yeah. Hey, Nigel. Hey, Tyler. Okay. We'll go back and forth here. And check back in on Turadome. Hope our phone's not having any issues tonight because it is late. Nobody, people didn't pass. You shouldn't be passing out this early, though. Hey, Tony from the land down under. Tony. Tony's running a crew. Just doing things around the house, though. Sounds like he's working on a chain fence right now. Hey, Tony. Tony.
Hello.
There you are. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hang on a sec. Let me plug you in.
All right.
Where are my earphones?
All right.
You got me in the shed working.
I figured, but I could hear you going at it too.
Hang on,
Remember Tony said early in his day.
All righty, let's get on with it.
Yeah. Tony, I should have known you'd be on this cast immediately as soon as we started talking about Kyle Shanahan and some of the things that may involve getting the quarterback killed. And now Kyle's got to change the system. The Eagles were talking about before the game started. The thing to do is ignore all that mojo stuff going on, all that movement going on before they snap the ball. Stand your ground and get ready to fire on them boys. And so Kyle's got to work on that. I don't know what he's going to do, but that may be part of the reason why we're looking at Brock Purdy getting ready to get his arm rebuilt. And
Ronbo.
Yeah.
Kyle needs to change his attitude. That's what he needs to do.
to begin with.
Okay. Did you see what he said to Jimmy Ward?
Yeah, they're not paying him any more than what did he say again? Go over that again.
They tried to sneak him onto playing nickel, right?
Yeah.
A nickel corner,
right?
So they can lowball him for the next contract, right? And Kyle goes to him. He walks up to Kyle and says, "Kyle, can I play safety? All right, I want to play safety." Kyle goes to him, "Do you want to ride the bench?" This is the oldest player on the team. But the guy's busted his chops for you. He was the guy that hit the dude on the sideline that fumbled the ball, that you didn't throw the flag because Talanoa Funga said to you, it's incomplete. And you didn't throw the flag. That was a turning point of the game, you dickhead.
Damn.
And then you go and disrespect Jimmy Ward by saying to him, do you want to ride the bench just
Tony,
because he asked you, all right,
if
that
I go
he
back
wants
to my
to play
natural position,
safety?
I didn't know that Kyle and him had that conversation. Well, that's just evil.
Yeah, that's right. Right, and look at the way he signed off on Jimmy G like he was nothing. Is there any chance that Jimmy Garoppolo could, and what would that look like? No, there's no chance. What, you're not going to say, we thank the guy for coming back and, him and Brock Purdy are the ones that got us to almost to the big dance. He won 5 in a row for you.
He actually seemed a little pissed
-5
off when he
games.
said it,
See where you are, Kyle.
Yeah.
Piece of crap.
He could have said a little better.
So
than that.
So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? The other guys in the team are going to say, shit, you think Jimmy Ward's going to keep his mouth shut? No. All right? The other guys in the team are going to say, far out, Jimmy Ward's a veteran here. He's a captain. He's a leader. Right? If you're disrespecting Jimmy Ward like that, what's he going to do to me? And D'Amico Ryan, all right, we could lose Chris Kasurik on this little thing, all right? Because Kasurik's wife wants to go back to Texas.
Oh,
Kasurik,
no. I didn't know they were from Texas.
Yeah, Kasurik's from Texas, played for Texas A&M or whatever, all right? Now, okay, D'Amico's he doesn't want to be a DC, correct?
Well, no, now he's going to be able to head coach, right? Yeah. He's going to have to watch
No.
team. Kasurik doesn't. Yeah, he's never wanted to do anything more than what he's doing. Exactly.
All right, now listen to this. Kasurik doesn't want to be a DC. So D'Amico's going to say, listen, you don't have to be the DC. I'm the one that's going to be calling the plays on the defensive line. But I'm going to give you a title as the DC, which is going to enable me to pay you more, but you still do what you're doing for San Francisco for me.
Oh, my God. And like Johanny Blaylock says, and Jimmy Ward may say, well, thanks, Coach. I guess we just call it a day. And thanks a lot for everything you did. And he goes to Texas. And D'Amico get him signed immediately.
Well, exactly. He might go to Texas. He might go to the Raiders if he gets upset that bad. All right, he might D'Amico Ryan might grab Jimmy Garoppolo for the time being.
Oh, really?
Or Jimmy's
going to end up in a place where we're not wishing he was there. I don't want him anywhere on the West Coast. For as bad as people think Jimmy Garoppolo is, in a better scheme, in a different scheme, he's going to be dangerous. He's got talent.
Okay, here we go, Ronbo. I'm gonna leave you just with this thought. All right, it doesn't matter who I call. I want Trey to have a go. We've spent 3 first-round picks on the boy.
You have to.
All right. I watched some highlights the other day. He can dink and dunk the ball. People saying he's not accurate, but he's got that rocket arm. I think the kid can come along, and I think he's going to be, dare I say it, better than Brock. But he deserves a shot. Right? He's a first-round pick. Now, with Jimmy, right? Jimmy's gone. We don't care. Fair enough. I know there's Jimmy haters out there. Blah blah blah. But here's what I'm gonna get you to think about. Who's going to win a Super Bowl first? The greatest coach that never won one, Kyle Shanahan, or is Jimmy going to win one before him?
That would be.
And
so...
if Jimmy wins one before Shanahan, Shanahan's going to look like an absolute moron.
Jed might fire him on that. Yeah.
Right, but what he's done to J Dub, that pisses me off to no end. That is disrespectful horseshit at the biggest degree.
Damn.
You don't say that to your longest-serving player.
And he's been doing a great job damn near the entire time. Well, half the time. He was hurt a lot, but still. Always
at the
one
beginning,
of the best
he
of
was.
The team. Yeah.
All right.
I can't believe Kyle talked to him like
But-
that. It's just crazy.
Free agency. You got to piss, what's his name, off. You know my sentiments on sorry, Phil, brother, but, you know, the show's designed for us to have opinions. McGlinchey's got to go, right? Jimmy got injured from his side. He escorted the bloke around so he can get injured. Brock Purdy got injured from his side. It's time to bite the bullet, all right? You got Nick, what's that guy, Andre Dillard.
Dillard.
Yeah, from the Eagles, or Caleb McGarry from the Falcons. Nick Allegretti. I think he's on the Chiefs. Nick Allegretti.
He's getting married.
And he used to be a wrestler as well.
Yeah, he's getting married, Tony, in a few months. You can't fire a man that's about to get married.
Now, who do we draft as the next quarterback? I reckon you go for Stidham if he's available.
Yeah, because Cal, not fooling anybody, he drafts a quarterback or two every year. He's going to grab another one this year. Don't know who it's going to be.
We can get is Stidham going to be on the free agency? I think. I'm not sure.
I can't imagine that. He's with the Raiders. No, he's not going anywhere.
Al Shahir is going to probably go with D'Amico.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? This is going to heat up after the Super Bowl.
It's going to heat up, mate. Watch this space.
Tony, we got to go, though. Excellent points. I'll see you Sunday. Okay. It's crazy. This is going to be the craziest offseason probably of all time. Things that are going to happen.
It's going to be fun. I'm telling you.
All right, Tony. I'll see you Sunday.
All right, brother. All right, shout out to everyone. And see you in the next chapter.
Looking forward to it. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Yeah, you know what's really funny, though? You know what Steve Young said? He says, okay, so hopefully Trey can sit there because he hasn't had any time to be on the field. Trey can sit there and he's learned. He can take a little bit from Jimmy. He can take what he learned from Brock, put it in his own way, and get out there and get it done. Sometimes you have to see how things are done. So let's see what we got here, because Trey, that's 2 first-round picks we've lost. He's got to give us something. We'll find out. Hopefully, if Young is right, though, that's right. You can sort of absorb things, and maybe it'll work. Let's get hey Howard.
Big dog, what's happening?
Howard, man, it's time to get into preseason madness, and Kyle Shanahan's getting heat. and getting blamed. I picked that out as one question because of the fact Kyle is enraged when people say, Kyle, is there anything that you might possibly be doing with this causing those quarterbacks to get hurt? This is all the time. And Kyle, what? And he went nuts. And also, think about, you do need a third quarterback. I don't care what Kyle says. You need a third quarterback. He gets a third quarterback every year. So this year he's acting like, I got 2 starters. I'm not going to be looking around. Kyle, don't you do it, man. You ran out of quarterbacks this year with 3. So, what do you think is going to happen with that? And anything else you want to add to the situation with not being able to keep a quarterback healthy?
Bravo, Tony. He said everything I wanted to say about Kyle because he just comes on like just a little boy. He look at these guys like they're toys. You know what I mean?
But you know what?
Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy gets hurt.
Yeah.
Just throw his ass in the box. Plays Woody. Brock is Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Let me go play with Brock now. Oh, he's broken too.
Because there's no need to act like a prick. That's what I'm saying. Kyle, have a little pat. Don't talk to you. I know you're pissed off because you lost another year, but be a grown up on that. Don't. Kyle acts like he has to say certain things every year at the same time.
It's just simple, man. Like, just honor them. Like, we just got to make sure we protect our guys. We're gonna look into making some adjustments or whatever. Okay, that's it. You know what I mean? You ain't got to say, oh well, sorry, we got Josh hurt. Like, dude, come on, man, come on.
It's like you wonder if he cares, right? I got the feeling, Kyle, you don't care, do you? Damn, man. I know it's about.
You know what I'm saying? And just listening to that, if I was Trey and Brock, I would sit here and be like, does this man really care about me?
Yeah.
Especially Brock, because he was so hell-bent on, oh, yeah, bro, he's back in 6 months. He'll be back throwing. He be the old Brock, same old Brock.
Yeah.
Bro, do we really believe him? I mean, the kid couldn't throw a ball. He couldn't throw the ball.
Arms hanging.
He literally said he felt like his arms was sliding down.
And it hurt to even hand it off. It doesn't take any effort to hand the ball off. That must have really hurt. And Howard, just to add to what you're saying, I bet you Kyle and Jimmy did have a conversation. Jimmy said, forget it. I am probably pissed Kyle off, but Jimmy probably had an attitude toward him as well. And that's when he came in and said the way he said, under no scenario is Jimmy G Garoppolo. Jimmy probably told him, look, yeah, I know. If you ask me to get backup, I'm not doing it. I'm out of here.
Listen, man, Jimmy was around just dragging his nuts, man. He was like, fuck, I don't give a damn.
Didn't even show up on the sidelines.
Kyle?
I know.
What up, Kyle? Trent was like, Kyle. What up, Kyle? You gonna get me to play?
Because Howard, none of these guys. Jimmy got hurt a couple of times with the Patriots, but not seriously, right? You look at C.J. Beathard, who damn near lost his life with us when he first came. Mullins arm tear. Who else do we have? No matter who we've had, they've all suffered incredible pain, and so it's got to be.
Yeah.
But like Phil said, though, quarterbacks getting hurt all over the league. It's just a position where you're going to get hurt. But I just wonder why all of our guys have to get hurt annually. It's not sometime. It's all the time.
It's all the time. It's not just this season. We can't let this one year where all this is happening and just make this one little thing happen like it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. Like, we didn't see this many hurt quarterbacks back in the day.
And it was more vicious back then, too.
You were seeing Joe and Steve get smacked up, man. They was getting destroyed. Concussions
was a normal thing.
Yeah, it was normal. They came up, got right back up, dusted off. Next play.
I think Steve Young one time was facing the wrong way. Steve, what are you doing? Where's the center? He's behind you. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. You know? Whoa!
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right, man. I'm all right, guys. I'm all right. You know what I mean? Like it's just sad. It's just sad. You would think he would have some sort of compassion for his guys. Like they're kids, man.
Yeah, be
And
nice.
you got Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like who's always been there for you.
All right, you
You
took
know,
a pay cut
like,
to stay with us, Kyle.
you
You don't
know,
need
and
to talk to him like that.
you know, it was just poor taste. You know what I mean? And anybody who wanted to defend Kyle, I don't care. Like he's an asshole. He's that, and not in a good way. You know what I mean? Like he could joke and clown like an asshole. That's cool, but he's just playing. You're playing with people's lives, man. You're playing with people's careers. You don't treat them like they're just toys, bro. They're not pawns. You know, Rock got to make a living. Trey got to make a living. You know what I mean? And you trying to say, oh, they got to prove they can stay healthy.
I know John Lynch, right?
Like,
wow, he's
I wanted to smack John Lynch. I wanted to smack John Lynch from afar because I'm not going to smack him in real life because he probably beat my ass.
Too big.
He's too big. He's too big. I take him out by the leg, you know.
But that's not the thing to say to the media. He's got to prove he can stay healthy. But what does that mean? Is that a threat, John? How did you interpret that?
Yeah.
I said,
Exactly.
He better not get hurt next year.
Exactly. It's like you trying to say, oh, if you don't stay healthy, somebody else gonna take your job. Well, guess what? I don't give a damn. Trade me. That's what you're gonna say to me.
If Trey gets hurt one more year, that's it. Because the guys on the team can't wait. And then a fifth-year option is not going to happen. It's really scary for him. We'll see. These things are just speculation. He'll be all right. But fam, we got more speculating to do. We'll do it Sunday.
The only speculation that ain't speculation is Kyle as being an asshole.
He's pissed off though because he thought he did have the right team to win it this year. Fam, I'll see you Sunday. All right, Howard.
All right, man.
Night, fam.
Oh, yeah. All right, peace.
God, see, that's why I knew tonight's show needed to vent. Guys got to, like Tony says, the attitude. Kyle, come on, man. Don't be nasty toward the guys on the team. Hey, Nigel.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nigel. I'll hear you clearly.
Hey, what's up? Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah,
We're up, And that's why Kyle's being like he is. I just realized Kyle knows he had a Super Bowl team this year. That was it. This was the team. They reached the right level of maturity. All the pieces were in place. But, you forgot the quarterback's got to stay up, though. Oh.
Yeah, I chalk it up. He was being a jerk. I mean, there's no way around it. When he came out and he was being smug and snarky, sarcastic in that press conference. But you got to think, too, imagine how mad you are, right? And us as fans are. And then you're the coach of the 49ers and you have to go through that game. You're going to be upset as well. I'm not defending him because, honestly, at the beginning of the season, Ronbo, I think a lot of us, when we were kind of like, trying to find our footing in the season and kind of losing those games where it felt like we should have won and that type of thing, I said this to you, I'm like, well, we might right the ship at some point, which we ended up doing, but at the end of the day, because of his past and what he's done in the big games and as far as his teams go anyway, it's like they get you to that point where you're like, damn, I think we can win it. And then you get let down again, and it's just like, it's a hard thing. I mean, everybody, I'm sure, is frustrated in the organization, especially him as the coach, because everybody's looking to him. I mean, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And we all know what those specifics are in the games because it's been said 1,000 times since Sunday. Everything from, everything just that went on in the whole game. But that kind of pissed me off the way he was. But then, like I said, you got to think about the human element. and he was probably upset about what was going on too. So then you got people poking at you, trying to get questions in there. And, he didn't want to bear the responsibility out to the public. But I have to think him looking at what happened this season, as smart as a person as he is, he has to think to himself, like, could there have been something that I could do to get my
That's what
quarterback,
I want.
keep him
Don't
healthy?
sit there and just decide it's not my fault. Do change something.
Right. He's going to have to, Ronbo, because, and I know there's some people that want to defend him to the end and, quarterbacks get hurt, every season. And that's true, but not like this, not like our team. It's
Not
not
2 or 3 of
normal
them
to
or
lose
4.
people for the season, like Jimmy
Right?
for the
No
season.
comeback.
He's hurt every year. And then we blame Jimmy Garoppolo. And then next thing you know, Trey Lance in a preseason game gets his freaking finger busted. And of course, he was able to play, but the first or the second game of his what was supposed to be his full starting year, he gets freaking hurt for the season. And now Brock, within 8 games, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's not a coincidence.
That is insane.
It's not a coincidence. So he has to look in the mirror at himself and, and realize that, yes, people are asking you these questions and it's frustrating, but at the same time, there is a reason why, because it happens so consistently with him. And I have to think that, us piecing together this offensive line besides Trent, besides basically the left side. So, I'm blanking right now. Trent Williams, and then our left guard, Banks. Is that it?
That's him, Aaron
But
Banks.
anyway, it's just Aaron Banks. Yeah. Besides them, I mean, our center is kind of like, did we really think that he was going to do as well as he did this year? Not
Well, that's true.
really.
Brindle wasn't
I
that
think
bad.
they overachieved.
Yeah.
He wasn't. That's what I'm saying. They overachieved, but at the same time, it's like maybe we got to focus on that this year, is the offensive line, rather than, we have enough receivers, we have enough weapons, defensive line. I mean, maybe you shore that up, the interior, but
you just
got
got
to protect the quarterback.
Yes, that's priority one. So you know what? Wherever you see where you can improve on that offensive line, please give it an effort. I mean, Mike wasn't okay. You know what, Nigel? Mike McGlinchey wasn't awful all year. The bad thing about it is he just has those moments where he just totally shuts down. And those are usually critical moments, though. That's the only thing. God.
Yeah, I think it's a mental block. There's some type of mental block with, like, McGlinchey at certain points in the game where I don't know if it's a fatigue thing or what, but yeah, that he'll do it. And this is the same thing with, like, certain positions, but especially the offensive line. Like, you really don't hear about them until they do something, they mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's true.
All of a sudden,
and that's not all game long.
And that's not all game long, but it's like at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that right side of the line is where we've had the most issues. I mean, there's certain things where we just have to come to the realization where, okay, he might not be bad most of the game, but there's certain points of the game where you screw up, and that's just enough at the wrong time to get our quarterback hurt or give up a big sack, whatever it is. And it's just this team really, I mean, especially at the top, starting with Kyle, he has to look at himself and be like, he has to change something up. There has to be something, whatever that may be.
Is already on to what they're doing. We got to go, though, Nigel, and we'll look for you Sunday.
All right.
All right, Phil. Appreciate you.
But, all right. Thanks for taking my call, man. Have a good night.
Always a pleasure. Night, Nigel.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Remember, if young Montana was a very annoying person, if he gets on your nerves, remember, you can just block him.
Are you going back?
Hey, Emilio! It's time for some Latino heat! Latino heat! Latino heat!
Hey, what's happening? What's going on?
Now I was one of the people, I'll admit it, that defended Kyle Shanahan, to a degree. But there's one thing I wish he would correct. There must be a way, Kyle, that there's something you could adjust. I don't. Other teams may have their first string quarterback go down, but not their second, third, and fourth and fifth. Kyle, there's something wrong. There's got to be something wrong. You know?
The line. It's mostly the line.
Okay, well, put the effort into getting get an offensive line or something. Do something. Don't just sit there and say, it's just bad luck. It's more than bad luck.
No, it's not bad. Like it's the line, and then especially with that play where Purdy got hurt. That was just stupid. Putting what was it? What was his name? Dwelly? Was it Dwelly that blocked?
It was Croft.
But yeah, that's kind of. I guess because I saw the play and I got the idea. Like I can't remember who broke it down, and they said, "Yeah, it works," but it was just kind of the wrong person to have him block. I was, of course, you wanted Kittle to go out there, but
Kittle
they said it would have
been
been better to Kittle to block. Yeah, but then they said Kittle should have blocked it, and then Croft should have went out for the pass.
Croft has failed on that.
It wouldn't have been the same amount of talent, but it would have been better. Like,
it'd have been better.
It's just certain stuff like that, It's just mostly, but. It's just a line, mostly what it is. I mean, the only difference was with Trey. He went out and got hurt trying to run the ball, but for the most part, a lot of our injuries was from free.
Kyle said though. You know what Kyle said about that. Trey was supposed to hand the ball off to Debo.
Yeah, and I remember that. But
Kyle's got
you can blame him, but
Kyle's got.
For the most part, a lot of our injuries. Yeah. Most of our injuries come from the line. Free runners coming in and blasting the quarterbacks out.
Yeah, that's got to stop.
That's mostly what it is.
That's got to stop.
Yeah, there's times you can't blame McGlinchey for stuff here and that, leaving free runners or whatever, but I'm like, I think it was Phil or Tony that did say, Kyle was kind of neglecting it because of, McGlinchey being good at times and being horrible. It's one of those scenarios that McGlinchey should be gone this year, and that's one thing they gotta really worry about is the line. The line is the most things we need. If we want a quarterback to stay upright and not get hurt, we need to fix that line. It's the most thing this offseason.
Oh man, also you figure what after 3 years, I'm really worried about. You heard about what Lynch said. He says Lance has got to prove he can stay healthy. I said, why would you say that? John, you and Kyle, you guys know something's got to change. Trey's not the only one getting hurt out there.
Yeah, but you look at this point. I mean, because you think technically, this is our last year without a first round pick. We'll get our first round pick next year. This is kind of at this point where it's like, well, if he doesn't stay on the field, he's basically done. And
that's what I interpreted from that too.
No, it's what it is. It's just if Trey doesn't work out this year, it's like a oh well kind of thing. They just lucked up that Purdy did so good and got us to the championship game. That's what that is. That's what kind of happened.
There's already controversy
you can look at it
already coming up then because Brock's ready to play.
I mean, of course, because you think about
Trey
it.
has no chance.
I mean, those draft picks at this point don't really mean anything anymore. This is the last year. It is what it is. Trey worked out, didn't work out. Still maybe some type of hope to see what happens this season. But if he doesn't work out, we have a fallback, which is Purdy. So if Purdy doesn't start and Trey does bad, we're good to go with Purdy. We just need to keep him upright from getting hurt again. That's the only thing. That's the problem I've been concerned for the last couple of years with our quarterbacks.
You got
that 2019,
2020 season. And already did what he did this year. Trey's already at a disadvantage. Unless he comes out and just looks totally different, the fans are going to start yelling every time Trey makes any kind of mistake, any kind of thing goes wrong. Purdy. How's he?
They will.
Trey's how old? 24.
They will.
They can't take that. That's too much.
Hey, he's gonna have to tough it up. It's his third year. It's too bad he got hurt. I did want to see what he was going to be able to do this whole season, but we didn't get a chance to really see it. So this year, if he starts, he has to refrain from making mistakes because he knows he's going to know that when Purdy's ready, he's going to take his job.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's just not a surprise.
That's a lot of pressure, especially for somebody
it
who has
was
no
like
experience.
think about it. I mean, no, it's kind of saying the same thing with last season. This past season, you think, well, Trey would have messed up. Jimmy would have came in. So it wasn't no different. So now it's kind of the same thing. Dude. You should be starting. You might start. You messed up. Your backup is there. So it's not going to change. So that's not going to change.
So you're saying we're going to have this conversation probably in a few days. So you're saying start Trey next year, and Brock is your
no, I'm just
backup?
saying. Well, it depends really, because if Purdy's ready to go, then you make it a battle. If he's not ready to go, then you do start Trey. That's where that goes from. But if Purdy's ready to go, start a preseason or training camp, then you let it be a battle.
I see what you're saying now. Okay.
That's my thing. I mean, for me, if we would have got to the Super Bowl and won, you start Purdy, because I'm like, you can't take that away from
There's
Purdy.
no competition.
That's different. Now all this opened up a competition door. But if Purdy's ready to go, then you give the shot to Purdy, because you already think about it. Purdy's more prepared and ready than Trey is.
From experience alone.
But
actually, I mean that just
that alone, and he's won so many games already. He's ready.
But you gave up
Purdy's
2
not ready,
first-round
then
draft picks for him, and now what? See, it becomes a very complex situation.
Not necessarily. It's because you got to look at where we got Purdy from, and it worked out either way. Yeah, we got him last in the draft, but now those drafts don't even really matter anymore.
And he gets paid a lot less.
So so you're not really losing anything. I mean, yeah, Trey gets paid a little bit more, but how much longer are you going to really keep Trey if Trey's not working out?
Well, it's poor guy's in the
you
trouble.
give him 1 or 2 more years, and then
he needed 2 years to get learned, and now he's lost those. I don't know how. We'll see. I can't imagine. How are you going to do this?
I just know this year, I mean, as of now, the starting job is basically Trey's, because he's the only one that's going to be healthy by, OTAs or whatever. So he's the only one that's going to be ready. Yeah. Then you got to wait on Purdy. Then if Purdy's ready by training camp, then we figure that out. But as of now, Trey's the starter. Yeah.
We're gonna have to go, fam. I'm gonna see you Sunday, and that little girl is back there. I wonder she's yelling somebody's name. It's either Brock or Trey. Hey,
nice. To me, I'm just saying. Start who I start at this point. I'm fine. It is what it is. This point, like I said, I'm fine.
All right. You gotta go. Production's getting all crazy on me.
You have a good night.
See you Sunday.
You have a good night, everybody.
Night, and Mr. Block Eye says, I got 3 TVs in my area. I'll have the Super Bowl on one of them, I guess. Contract-wise, I want my guys together. What say you? NFC champion runner-up again. Yeah, see, that's the thing about having a great team. At some point now, you can't afford them all. So it's getting really scary. Hey, Brian.
Straight out of Memphis, Tennessee, the law says, know your role and shut your mouth.
Brian.
Ronbo, what's going on, man? Yeah. Man, you are hard, Ronbo, you are a hard brother to catch up with, boy. I be on the chat, and I be waiting and waiting and waiting.
I'm sorry, Brian.
And I know it's a different time, and I know it's a different time zone or whatever, but I think one time I fell asleep.
I know we've had several people. We've recorded them. We want to apologize for those who had to wait to the point of passing out. But Brian, I appreciate you staying awake for me, man. Brian, tonight it's all about. Okay, we now have the question isn't who's going to be the quarterback. The question is who's going to survive to be a quarterback. It's gotten ridiculous. We should have won.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Brock didn't even need to have to be seen this year. Jimmy was rolling 5 in a row. He wasn't going to lose. And the thing is, now he goes down. Brock comes in, and he's rolling. And you know what? I know he was going to beat the Eagles. The Eagles, they look like Brock, once they looked scared at the 49ers defense. Hurts was terrorized. They had him all figured out and ready to go. So, now here comes Josh for reasons he has to. And they knock him the hell out. I said, you know what? This is BS, y'all. Are these guys winning Oscars out there? What? Are they acting? What is going on? We lose 3 quarterbacks in one damn day? Are you serious? I'd never seen that before. So now you ask the question: is there's something wrong with what we do? You know, should Kyle change some things? Somebody said his attitude was out of line. Others think the scheme is set up to get the quarterback killed. Brian, where you at on this?
I think, first of all, whatever I think Cal needs to figure out, whatever Kansas City doing, he might want to take a few chapters out of what they're doing. One thing they're doing, they're staying away from injuries.
I know, right?
That's why they're in the Super Bowl before you know it.
And
you
in the
know,
playoffs every year, NFC Championship.
And they're in playoffs every year. I mean, they have equal. I don't even think their roster, even with who they, I don't think their roster is better than ours. But yet, they managed to be in the heat. They managed to be in the final thing every year.
And the NFC
that's just one
every year.
That's just one thing. And then two, we need to do a better job of pointing out or finding out what players that we have or that we just got hanging on the roster that are illegally stealing money. Legally stealing money. Like
there's a list. There's a
D4,
show right there.
Got to get rid of the D Fords.
He's gone.
You know. And Jason Barrett, we got to cut bait. Got to cut bait. Jason Barrett. He's showing nothing but getting hurt.
He's probably tired of trying to get better anyway.
You
don't
and then
have
look at
a lot of guys not on the team. They got rid of they cut most of the fat last year. They drafted a kid they're not really high on all of a sudden, I noticed. Drake Jackson Kyle explained some things that kind of surprised me about why Drake was a healthy scratch every week.
Well, I know one thing. If Kyle can scheme, if he's supposed to be the master schemer, do you think he can scheme up some plays where our quarterback won't get hurt?
I know, right? Apparently not.
Why would you have your backup tight end blocking their number one edge rushers? A double digit. You want him to block it against a double digit sack guy. Who does that? Who does that?
Well, it was a 7-step drop on that play action, and he's supposed to. He was supposed to get rid of that ball just a split second earlier. But Kyle, he's out there. He's a rookie. I don't run that play with him. Yeah, right. And then of course, Kyle. Kyle's never going to take any heat. He's not going to say, "Well, that's probably my fault. Maybe I should have called it." But he's never going to admit to anything. That's his fault. He's never going to take fault for anything. It's always the player's fault. It's always He'll explain
the player's
it to you,
fault.
make you feel foolish. That's what he does to the media people. He'll explain to you what he was doing, how it was supposed to come out, and how it didn't turn out as it was planned. And then he will mention names. He won't mention names, but he'll say the position sometimes was supposed to do this, or that, and that didn't happen. Kyle, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know
Ronbo, do you remember Jared McKinnon?
Yeah, he's doing great in Kansas City now. Doesn't get
hurt. For 4
years.
He stole money for us for 4 years. We kept him on the roster, and now he's on the Super Bowl roster.
And by the way, you mentioned him. He's an example of what I'm talking about when I say leave San Francisco and stay healthy. And now he's one of the most productive members of the Chiefs' offense. Jared McKinnon just kicking ass. He's a darker complexion CMC over there. I said, man, look at Jared, man. Damn.
Yeah, and I mean, we got him from Minnesota. He came to us.
He didn't come
hurt. He stayed hurt.
Yeah.
He just stayed hurt. I mean,
I know.
I don't know Ronbo, I don't know if they need to burn some sage around the facility or something.
Have people just walking around waving the smoke. Don't stop. Have them working in shifts and crews. Keep waving that sage, people, please. Get them some bigger bundles to burn. If the smoke gets too much, we'll give you masks. Just keep it going. Because we got a curse going on. I really think so. I'm trying not to think so, but we do.
Yeah. And then Ronbo of the trying to hire a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I think they need to get that Steve Wilkes guy. I think they need
They're
to.
talking to him.
I think they need to get him.
Yeah, they're talking to him. I don't think if he's going to win out, but they're talking to him. They're talking to him about 3 or 4 other people too.
Yeah, I think that to me, I think he's probably the best candidate. You know, because he's real good. I heard he's real good with the defensive backs. You know, that's how he got Josh Norman on the route he had when he was playing. You know, when he was playing with them in Carolina.
Oh, Steve was one of those, that's right. He was back there even then, huh? That's right. And then he came to Arizona, and they fired him. That's right.
I think if we get him, I think with what we got coming back on defense, we'll get right back to that number 1 spot.
Yeah, and he runs a 4-3, and that's why Fangio probably was excused. But Fangio runs such a hybrid now. I don't know if Fangio. Well, you know, because the edge
Fangio's
still
a 3-4.
Yeah,
he's a 3-4 guy, and that means we will have to, if we're going to run that, then we will have to draft 3-4 personnel.
I know.
I don't see that. I don't see what we got right now.
Well, Brian,
I don't see those guys playing.
No. Brian, we're going to go so we don't make everybody else go to sleep either. Fam, I'm trying my best to make sure to get people to hold up so we can get off the phone as quick as possible, get to the next person. But I always appreciate you, Brian. You know, Friday, you open up a whole can of worms. There's so many things we can get on about what's going to happen next. So I'll be looking for you then. Huh?
Yeah. All right, Ronbo. Shout out to you. Shout out to Faithful, and shout out to production. The law is out.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you, fam. See you Sunday.
All right, Ronbo.
All right. Well, it's a big show. Thanks for those contributions tonight, show. I can see your mind is really working overtime. Go ahead. Let us have it.
Yeah, it's because Kyle Shanahan's fault. If we're going back and forth between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance, that's a problem. That shows right there to us that we don't have a long-term answer at quarterback. And even whose fault that is?
That's a good point, Show. That goes back to that saying is, if you have a quarterback controversy, you don't have a quarterback.
Exactly. And we haven't had a quarterback since God knows when, since 2019.
No. That was the last time we didn't have a controversy.
And you still fail to realize that the offensive line is the reason why we can't keep our quarterbacks healthy. It's a problem. Like, Kyle Shanahan's not going to change, Ronbo. If you keep asking Kyle Shanahan to change, it's year 6. He's not going to change.
He has to, Sean.
He's too arrogant.
He's going to get fired. You know, we can't have this happen next year. I think Jed will have it. He'll figure out, listen, Kyle, you're a great coach, but for some reason it's just not going to work. I just don't see it.
And then you go on disrespect Jimmy Ward, who's been there longer than you have, telling him if he wants to ride the bench.
I can't believe he said that. Wow.
Because he wants to go back to his natural position. That really pissed me off right there. This is exactly why you lose. You're not a player's coach.
Well,
you're
Kyle's
a
on
you
the
coach
rag right now. I guess it's just not a good time to ask him questions. But Jesus, Kyle, that's just mean. God.
Jimmy Ward's done a better job at his job than Kyle Shanahan has that.
Actually, more accomplished, I guess.
You know, like I've told you already, I'm done with him, Ronbo. Trez and I are both done with him. We've been done with him for a long time.
I don't know how soon, but I know Trez been done for a couple of years. Yeah.
He can't get us over the hump, Ronbo. And not only that, I hate repeating myself, we don't have a freaking quarterback. You drafted Trey Lance out of a knee-jerk reaction because you didn't draft a quarterback in 2017. Let's be real.
Whoa. I hadn't thought about that. Because I know they're kicking themselves about not picking up Mahomes.
Yeah, John Lynch said that. That it haunts him every day for not doing that. You know, like, this is Kyle's last year. It really is. Honestly, if you don't get this shit straight, because it's becoming old real fast.
I wonder if
Mahomes really
would have survived with Kyle, though. You know how quarterbacks are
No,
just
he wouldn't have.
Splattered. Yeah. I wonder if he would have not.
Because you know what Andy Reid did when he first seen what the problem was when they lost the Super Bowl to Tampa Bay? That our offensive line was a weak spot, and he went into that offensive line for Patrick Mahomes, and look at that. Look at him now. He was completely healthy all year until the playoffs. And Kyle refuses to see that's the problem, and why his quarterbacks can't stay healthy. And
but so
McGlinchey is playing out of his natural position. McGlinchey is not a right tackle; he's a left tackle. He played left tackle on Notre Dame.
And it's just
this is what happens when you put players out of their natural position.
But you look at Burrows.
They don't work out.
But you look at Burrow over in Cincinnati, though. They went out and got all kind of guys, and they still tried to kill Burrows this year. I wonder sometimes, does it have something to do with how they're going about doing things, or what is it? God, I just don't get it.
I don't understand why people defend this man to this day. Yes, he's gotten us to 2 NFC games and lost them both, which they failed to look at.
Well, 3.
And he's gotten us to the Super Bowl, which he also lost. Yeah. What's so magical about him?
Well, there's a lot of coaches that aren't getting their team anywhere near where we go, but we got a lot of talent now, though, so we should have won this one this year.
Yeah.
And, of course, the old thing, get the quarterback and kill the 49ers.
He does the same thing every year with his talent, and it doesn't get us anywhere. He's not going to change. This is one of the things that pisses me off about him also is the nepotism. Like, if you're not in his clique, then you're in the doghouse on the bench, like Jimmy Ward said.
Yeah, I don't know why he snapped at Ward like that. That's just scary. You want to sit on the bench.
That's bizarre.
Kyle, you couldn't think of anything
You don't
else
tell
to
a
say
veteran.
about that?
You don't tell a veteran that's been here longer than you have, who knows this team like the back of his hand and knows what it's been like to struggle.
And let's show some appreciation about what he's done. You don't call him in the office, have a conversation. Don't just give him that little short, nasty answer.
Now we're going to go watch him do well with D'Amico Ryans over in Houston, along with Azeez Al-Shaair.
Listen,
we have to worry about Trent Williams contemplating retirement too.
And we're talking about Kasurik that may decide to go back to Texas, as was pointed out earlier. Oh my God, Kasurik's from
the House
Texas.
The House of Cards is beginning to fall, Ronbo.
Oh man, no, we didn't finish. Damn.
Well, I mean,
I can't go back to the dark
shame on
days.
you, Kyle.
We just can't go back to the dark days.
Shame on you for disrespecting Ward like that. That really pissed me off. That was the final nail in the coffin for me with him disrespecting Ward like that.
Oh, I can't believe he did.
Can't believe he said that to him.
I skimmed through the dailies. I don't read them all. I'm glad I missed that one. I would have been pissed too. So we got to go. I'll be back Sunday.
All right, shout out to everyone.
All right, thanks, fam.
Take care.
Night show. Guys, I wish I wouldn't have heard about that. What happened between him, Kyle, and J-Dub. Oh, Kyle. Really? Seriously, you did? Oh, man. Darren Doe, are you there?
My man Ronbo, what it is, man.
Darren Doe, remember, I'm saying, you know what, Darren Doe, I came in here I was coming in to cheer everybody up and let's talk about the future and those kind of things. And all we need to do is keep our quarterback upright. And then somebody says, Kyle told Jimmy, listen, you want to play safety? You want to ride the bench? What? No, he didn't. And too many people confirmed that he did. I said, oh my God, Kyle, that's just bad form. Terrible, you know what though?
Hey man.
Guy, what do you Terrible add? The quarterback situation, the backup. Are you going to go with 2 quarterbacks this year? Steve has said that hopefully Trey has just absorbed everything he could from both Jimmy and Brock, and he'll come in there and be able to apply himself in a fashion that we can be impressed with. You're looking at your third guy for a quarterback and all that fun stuff, Terry. Go ahead anywhere you want to start.
Hey, Ronbo, masterful job again this year, my brother.
Thanks, man.
We've been through a lot. We started off with the Jimmy G, Trey Lance controversy way back when. I think it was
at the season's end last year.
After the season ended, and you and a few other content creators, I don't want to miss a chance at giving you guys your flowers. You guys
Man, y'all held us down all year. And wherever you are listening, wherever you are a member, please give a praise or a clap of some sort to Mr. Ronbo, Larry Krug.
I'm embarrassed.
Nothing but Niners. All you guys. Y'all did great this year, man. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Terdo. We just love football, Love the 49ers football, It's just easy to do.
Amen. Ronbo, it got down to our meeting in Philadelphia. My grandmother, Grandma Emma Burley, used to say, when your child was acting up, and she used to tell the younger mothers, she said, you know what that baby needs? That baby need a good ass whooping.
That's excellent.
That's all that happened, y'all. We went up there to Philadelphia, and Grandma Emma prescribed just what Philly did. They gave you a good ass whooping. That's all it was. We took a good ass whooping. It was physical. It got down in the trenches, my brother. It is it's January, February football. We used to do it with Jim Harbaugh. We used to do it, and we used to do it a lot. It just gets down to your 11 versus my 11 down in the trenches. I'm going to see who's a man, whose member is bigger. I'm going to come off this ball. I'm going to get lower, and I'm going to knock the living HE double hockey sticks off it. That's what playoff football is. It ain't about a scheme. It ain't about a dream. It ain't about who got a better percentage at this or that. You got to play football come January. You got to come see me. Bring your AB. Bring your A. That's it. That's it. And for us to get mad that they knocked our quarterback out is the equivalent of saying, well, we would have won the fight if you didn't knock me out first.
Alternative. Oh, that's the gospel truth.
Come on. Hey, Ronbo, I'm gonna be 100% real. Come on.
If we could have broke Hurts's arm or leg, we'd be sitting up here talking trash. That's true.
Ronbo, if you would have took my money coming in here, and you said one of these quarterbacks is getting knocked the HE double hockey sticks out on Sunday, I would have said to a man, I would say, D'Amico Ryan is going to have Nick Bosa coming off the edge, and he's coming to see Mr. Jalen Hurts. As a matter of fact, it's a program called, I think I said it on Nitty Gritty Niners or Nothing But Niners, one of the two. I said, this goes back to high school when we had assignment football, Ronbo. Assignment football, guard, tackles, and linebackers. You got to pitch or you got to dive. And my defensive end, I don't want you worrying about the run. I want you to go straight at that quarterback no matter what. I want you to touch him up. He should know your name at the end of this. I don't care if he takes a squirt. You go to the restroom with him, and you hit him. Don't worry about nothing else. Trust Fred. Trust Kinlaw. Trust Armistead. Trust who's my big boy? Al Shazier. Trust him to make the play in the middle. And we didn't do that, Ronbo.
Yeah.
No, I was on the program, and the Eagles heard me, and they used it. They said, no matter what, you go straight at the head of the snake. That's the only way to kill a snake.
Yeah.
And they touched my boy up, man. My beautiful son. And any Godfather fans out there, they say, look at my boy. Look how they massacred my boy. That's how I felt.
You got to say like Marlon. They butchered my boy. They did butcher.
Look how they massacred my son, Sonny.
I mean,
Ronbo, It's all good. I know I got limited time, my brother. I know I got limited time, but I just want to tell everybody we will be okay, man. I've been a Niner for a long time. In 1986, we went up to New York, and Joe Montana got hit by a guy named Jim Burt. Please check y'all's YouTube. We went up there, man, with them New York Giants, and Jim Burt hit Joe Montana from East Rutherford, New Jersey to Hoboken, and LT picked it off and ran it all the way back. Some days you get beat 46-3. It's okay. It's okay. I promise we will be back. Don't worry about it. We're going to reload the weapon. We're going to cock that M16, and we will be back. Philly, enjoy it this year. You got me. Hey, well done. That's cool. But I'm going to be back. And whether it is Flores as our defensive coordinator, or I think my man from North Carolina, what's his name?
Steve Wilks.
Steve Wilks. Right. I'm going to reload this weapon. I'm going to go to the Senior Bowl down here in Mobile, Alabama. I'm going to get me a right tackle. I'm going to get some protection. And I will be back. I don't care if Trey Lance is back there, and I don't care, Brock. One more thing, Bravo. One more thing.
Please, really quickly, because they're getting nervous over here.
All right, I got you. One more thing. That daggone Jimmy Garoppolo is on the sidelines laughing a lot after he throws interceptions and after he sees people go down. He's about as unlucky as that Kiki piece on the Brady bunch that Bobby found and caused everybody. He's janky as I don't know what. We didn't start getting these injuries until he was in the building. Let's get him out, and I will be back next year. Get my money ready. Right. Love you, Ronbo. Thank you for your time.
I got you, fam. All right. Have a great night, Terry. I always appreciate you. All right. See you Sunday. We got time Sunday. All right. Oh, God.
Bless you, God. God bless you, man.
Night, fam. Hey, Brian. Come on in, Brian.
Hey, shout out to Terradome, man. He's the greatest. I see him everywhere, and he's great. He really is. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to, match that, And I'm not, honestly, he brings a lot of energy. But, this playoff game that we had, it was just a couple of bad things that happened, And I know it's not what anybody wants to hear, but. Kyle does have some legitimacy when he says it was bad luck. I mean, not being able to see the replay 10 seconds and running up there and snapping the ball. He could have called timeout, but maybe he was just relying on, again, the NFL, 20 people in New York, and however they did not see that play.
Right. The thing is, when was the last time New York called something that they seen and the flag wasn't thrown? I'm trying to remember the last time I saw that. That's few and far between times, right?
Ronbo, the idea of it, the play happened within 10 seconds. So you got 20 people sitting in a room looking at all the angles. Well, how many angles was at that time visible? How many people were looking at the same angle? And the angle that we seen, he looked like he caught it. And then we didn't see that other angle until after they scored. So if that play didn't happen right there, the Niners could at least win up 3 points. At least 3 points. It was fourth down.
It was. But was
it
fourth
you? Down, and we would have got the ball
True.
So that play
it connects
happen.
a lot of dots. But Brian, what's it you pointed out that as soon as you seen their team hustling back to the line of scrimmage, that you should have threw the flag right away? There was something up.
Yep. That's my feeling, but I'm not the head coach. I'm not, NFL professional, but me as a fan, I'm like, that's weird right there. That's hindsight looking back at it too, but that's really weird when you see the team hustling like that. And, you at that point, you should look at your other players. He should have looked at Huff and been like, why is Huff acting the way he's looking? And, this makes sense. He didn't catch it. Maybe Huff is saying he didn't catch it. Throw the flag, or call timeout. but he didn't. And that's, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Then
too
Purdy,
late now.
he started out well, and boom, he gets hurt, and he got hurt. Why? Because bad assignment, whatever, and it's the same kind of metaphor, it's the same kind of mentality. People get mad that Jimmy Garoppolo goes up to the podium and says, "Oh, well, we need to play better." And he doesn't take blame on himself. Well, Kyle goes up to the podium and says, "Oh, Purdy should have stepped up
You
in the
blame
pocket.
somebody else, I know.
or Jimmy should have cut out of bounds and not, cut into the linebacker. That's why he got hurt. Or I'm going to just run Trey Lance like a running back because I don't believe he can do anything else." If that's the guy you drafted and you spent that much money, you protect your investment. And you can't protect everybody on the field. It is a football game. People do get injured, and you shouldn't start because of your draft pick. You shouldn't start because of how much you're getting paid. You should start because you're the best on the field. But now we've went through how many quarterbacks in his 6-year tenure, and it seems like everybody gets hurt.
And
everybody.
Seriously. And that's why CJ's
Brian Hoyer, the destroyer.
At least he didn't get taken out permanently.
Nick Boland. I mean, how
Did
many?
Hoyer get hurt? I forgot about him.
He kept getting hit, and I think he either had a concussion, and that's why CJ went in, or he started seeing ghosts. But either way, he got hurt out there, and it's like, and this isn't just Kyle's fault, and it really isn't. This is a thing that happened with the Niners with Kaepernick and Alex Smith. When Alex Smith first came into the league, he got hurt right off the bat. And why? Because the Niners haven't built their O-line. The Cowboys, they have a magnificent O-line. Every year they have a great O-line.
Well, at least
and
good.
They seem to have
they had that one magnificent
and
year.
They seem to have a running back. So why can't we build into the O-line? But, once again, it's like it was a great season. When we were 3-5 this year, nobody thought we were not 3-5, but when we early in the season 3-4, last year was 3-5.
Yeah.
We didn't expect this to happen, and it's just we just got to, if you trust the process, you trust the process. If you hate Kyle Shanahan, you hate him. Either way, you either root for the Niners or you root for individual players. I root for the Niners, so whoever's starting next year, I'm going to root for him. It sucks because, we get fan favorites, and with this year, it was like the run it back year. And now we got a lot of people that might not be coming back next year. And, again, everybody wants to deep dive into players' contracts. Everybody gets so wrapped up in contracts and in their opinions say, "Oh, we can't keep this guy because of this or that." No, the Niners will make it happen if that's where they want to go with.
Yeah.
And that's my point, too, with Jimmy Ward, Ronbo. Jimmy Ward was told, "Hey, if you want to sit down, you'll sit down. If you want to play, we need you here." And that offended him. And people are like, "Oh, well, he's the longest tenured player." Ronbo, what'd they do to Joe Montana? What'd they do to Steve Young?
They do that all the time.
Not Steve Young, but Jerry Rice,
It wasn't the message as much as it was the way it was given. I really wish they just would have had that talk privately. You guys don't need to be in public doing that kind of thing. I don't want it to get out. Have the conversation in a civil fashion where you say, "Listen, Jimmy, I need you at
Ronbo, Jimmy Ward did this Instagram, Twitter thing where he came out and said all this. This wasn't put in public. This was something that they said
did talk in public. They did talk privately. Okay.
And then he come out after the season. This is why Jimmy Ward's not coming back because
that's it for Jimmy.
He wants to get paid more money. And the Niners, it was the next man up, and you put your best players on the field. So Kyle's like, "Hey, if you can play, you're the best player or best option. I'm sorry you're not going to get to play, starting, at your dream position. But, damn it, if you're the kicker and I need you to punt, you're going to go out there and punt, and that's what he's basically saying. If you can tackle, I'm going to put you on the field." And Jimmy, if he wants to go somewhere else, okay. Everybody, he was on our team for a long time, but you guys forget he was hurt for a long time.
You know how many years he kept coming in and out. You know what's so bad though?
His nickname's Hospital Ward.
What's
Hospital
his name?
Ward.
I know, but the guy that played over the top this year, he's not for sure if he wants to come back and play another year. So maybe Jimmy didn't even need to bring it up. He's probably going to go back there next year anyway. So
You have to put your best players on the team, on the field. You have to. And it doesn't matter if someone's been on a team for 10 years or 5 years. If they're the best player for that game, that's who you start. So, hey, Ronbo, thanks for having me on.
Appreciate you, man.
Stay faithful. It's going to be a crazy off season. And, just stay faithful. And again, last thing, Kyle Shanahan has become the new Andy Reid. Andy Reid went to the NFC Championship 5 times in a row.
Yeah. John Madden.
5 times in a row, right?
Yeah.
Lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Now Shanahan, 3 NFC Championship games.
1 Super Bowl.
He's lost the Super Bowl, and that's not counting Atlanta. So let's remember, hey, if Kyle,
that's true.
Andy's a good example. It could happen. We just gotta, wait out the time.
John Madden went through the same thing. Madden and the Raiders were just bone-crushing good every regular season, but they couldn't win the big ones.
Yeah.
So
hey,
that's where it goes.
Thanks for the platform.
Hey.
And you keep doing what you're doing, and
Thanks,
everybody, call in, share your opinion. Go Niners.
Thanks, Brian. Talk to you later. And hey, Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven,
what's going on?
Well, we're looking at the situation as it is now that we digested things and can see things a little more clearly. Well, because rage was going through my mind. Even Terradome brought something to the table tonight that he's right. We can't get mad about them breaking Brock's arm. If the 49ers would have broke Hurts' body up into pieces like that, we'd probably be cheering like, yeah! So, I you know what, though? I got to tell you just one thing before you get started, Steven. I just don't think the Eagles will walk around, though. Yeah, we bad. Y'all you guys are fortunate and you're lucky. As far as teams go, you're still not better. You had the right move at exactly the right time. What does that make them? Better? No, it makes them fortunate. Hey, the 49ers would have creamed the Eagles had they not done that. We'd have beat them like we beat everybody else coming down the stretch. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, no. So here's the thing about that. So, man, if we were to beat up Hurts, yeah, obviously we'd be like, yeah, we'd be cheering. But then the Eagles fans on the other hand would be like, nah, like we need to replace, our offensive line, because apparently there's someone on the team who has, I believe, either like a hernia or something like that, some kind of injury that has to do with his lower half.
Yeah. I remember hearing something about somebody on the team playing hurt, yeah.
Yeah, because if you think about it, Ronbo, we were, on all sides of the board, we were kicking their ass. It's just we didn't have a quarterback. We were whooping their ass. We contained Jalen
without
Hurts.
a quarterback, yeah, at least serviceable.
Exactly.
Josh is not serviceable.
And outside of, the penalties that we had, we were shutting them down at every corner. It's just the penalties were just numerous. There was one drive where we purposely walked them. Yeah, like, oh, okay, here's an easy
15
touchdown
more
for you.
yards.
Like anybody.
10 more.
So we beat them on all sides of the board. It's just we didn't have a QB, and I have to say it, man. It all attributed to our offensive line. That was something that, I don't know where Jason Poe was at. I don't know where Alfredo Gutierrez was at. We have a lot of people. We have 3 offensive linemen who were there at the beginning of the season who just magically disappeared halfway through the season. And Mike McGlinchey, outside of him playing outside of his position, he's a terrible, terrible offensive lineman. He's not good.
Steven, did you hear Mike in that interview, though? Mike believes he's really good, and he thought he did a great job this year.
No, he didn't. Every time. That's our main weakness. Every time. It's always the right side of the fence that always gets broken down, and it's his side.
And it worries me that he said that because, okay, Mike, what does that mean? That you don't need to improve?
Of course he doesn't. He thinks in his mind he doesn't need to improve. He's a joke. He's a joke of an offensive lineman, and he's super sensitive to touch the ball. Granted, I'm all for being human and whatnot, but shit, if you're bad at your job, at least admit that you're bad at your job, or at least say, you know what, I'm not comfortable in this position. I'd rather be on the left side, But he's just terrible. And then Kyle doesn't do a better job at drafting either. Him and John Lynch, it's both of their faults. We're going to go ahead and get running backs and quarterbacks, but we're not going to focus on what we really need. Like, let's say, corners or Steven, offensive linemen.
Steven, the 49ers seem to go one unit at a time. You notice that? We get a linebacker every year, but they're always good for some reason. And then also they built the cornerback room up last night. They went out and paid money for Chavarius. And, of course, they drafted more people. They got a couple of guys who were not bad. The kid from, what's his name, Bo something? Anyway, Womack. Yeah. Next year, this is it. You can't go to get another defensive lineman. Granted, Javon Kinlaw is going to have to be replaced, but this offensive line is the only thing that's left. They have to do it now.
Yeah, it's Javon Kinlaw had so much promise, Ronbo, but at the end of the day, I mean, goddamn.
His knee won't let him.
I hate to say it, Grant Cohn was right. He's a bust. He's a bust. I think everyone has to collectively kind of, swallow their pride and say, you know what, Cohn, you were right about Kinlaw. He was a bust.
Yeah. I just didn't want him to be right for our team's sake, And Javon is still not working.
I'll give him the respect he deserves. I mean, he called it like he saw it. And it's just, how many snaps has he played this season? What?
Javon?
Yeah.
It's not many.
And he was supposed to be a replacement for Defoe.
One of the most durable, best linemen the 49ers have had in, I don't know how long. Ever since the Cowboy left,
Yep.
So
we sacrificed him to pick up this guy who couldn't even do an entire season of play.
First year.
So, again,
I
we
worry about
ourselves
guys coming first year hurt, too. And then it was explained that's only going to get worse. That deteriorating knee is going to continue to deteriorate. He's not going to get better. He won't sign a second contract. I think that was Papa Dragon pointed that out, which I didn't know. I didn't understand with the injury, but we're in trouble.
Oh, we're in big trouble, Ronbo. And it's like we've got some good stars, but it's like we're also missing the glue to have those stars in place so that way we have a well-built team.
Yep.
And then we might be losing Chris Krusaric.
Yeah, he may go back to Texas.
He
might like playing with D'Amico.
And
it brings him back to Texas. Jimmy Ward. He'll go to Texas in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Ward will go in Texas in a heartbeat.
Especially if he's pissed off with
D'Amico
Kyle.
and the team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think, Ronbo, everyone collectively is pissed off with Kyle. I mean, even in his own team, because he tries to be buddy-buddy with all of them, but then doesn't know how to coach at the same time. It's like, okay, you kiss my ass, I'll let you play. You don't kiss my ass, you don't play. And it's like, fuck. And I feel like he tries to be an offensive coordinator and a coach all at the same time, and it's not working. He needs an offensive coordinator, and he can be the head coach himself rather than try to do both jobs.
You would think you'd learn how to do it by now. But, Stephen, we're going to have to go. I'll be looking for you Sunday. You're in Little Rome. And always appreciate your stuff, Stephen. See you Sunday, huh?
No problem.
All right.
I'll see you Sunday.
Night, fam.
Good night.
And I see Victor A says, what we also have to keep in mind is that the young quarterbacks no longer have that big brother to call on if they don't know why Kyle wants to play to be. Victor, people are going to try to pretend that's not going to be a problem. It is a problem. It
is a problem, Ronbo.
Veteran quarterback. Oh, God, yeah. You can't have Trey and Brock. They need somebody.
Facts.
They definitely, there's no doubt about it. So,
yeah, that's facts. You know what else facts, Ronbo?
What's that?
The Cardinals are irrelevant, the Rams are ass, and the Seahawks are still our bombs, and the Raiders lost to Nick Mullins. Now let's talk 49ers football because the season seems to be over. I said it, Ronbo. Jed York, you are the problem. Jed York reminds the Shanahan, York, and Lynch remind me of three brothers. Jed is the oldest brother who puts the middle brother, which is John, in charge of the youngest brother.
Yeah.
Little do we know the little brother is always doing basically whatever he wants, throwing fits and telling the middle brother what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And John needs to start, whether it's John or Jed, somebody needs to start talking to Kyle and putting their foot down to him. Because I feel like he's just freely able to make mistakes and everybody will just be like, he's one of the best coaches. Oh, well. Injuries happen. Nah, Ronbo, it's finna be year, 7? I think.
Yeah, at least.
I mean,
came in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 20, yeah.
Ronbo, what other coach in the NFL has been on their team for more than 5 years that hasn't won a ring? You name it. You name them.
Tomlinson. Well, Tomlinson was already won a ring before he first came. Yeah.
Who else has been a coach on a team for more than 5 years that has not won a ring?
You know what?
If you ain't done nothing in 4 years, you're
That's
fired.
a good question.
Why is Kyle
That's
still
a
on the
question for
team?
the chat. Has anybody been hired for 5 years and didn't achieve the ring?
I'm talking about right now.
I'm
talking about right in
last
the
5
league.
years. Yeah.
I mean, for as far as I know, as long as Kyle has been employed, and he still ain't. I'm just saying. Any other coach, I think they would have been fired by
Jalen,
now.
you know what the thing is? We compete, and I think Jed's afraid of not competing. But we get to the playoffs. It's assumed almost that we're going to the NFCCG, but we can't keep coming out of the NFCCG.
Yeah, I mean, Ronbo, let me just put this into a perspective from the outside looking in. Look at the Cincinnati Bengals. They made the Super Bowl. They made the AFC Championship. What if the Bengals make the AFC Championship again next year and they don't make the Super Bowl? Some type of changes are finna made. Somebody's gonna have to go.
Yeah, well, they ain't gonna do it with Joe
Because
Mixon.
you can't get over the hump. We made it to 2 NFC championships in a row in the Super Bowl, and we still like thinking that we can roll in with the same personnel and something's gonna change.
Well, we're gonna lose personnel too.
I mean,
every year. That's what happens when you win. People leave.
Are we winning though? It's like when we lose bad, Ronbo. Because goodness gracious,
I know, right? It's always.
It's like when we lose. I mean, even though the Rams game won a blowout, it's the Rams, so that's embarrassing in itself.
Well, yeah, because we own the Rams. Why are we not going to own them this day? How did we figure out how to do that? Well, injuries, like usual, mostly to do with injury. Even if Kowalski misses that, we still got a healthy Trent. We got Jimmy, at least his hand works or something. They own the Rams. Now we can't beat them.
Yeah, but I mean, Trey, Ronbo, you know how I feel about Trey. I'm all for him. I hope he does great, but everybody in the NFL has already said Justin Fields should have been the guy. Like that, hands down, no thinking about it. He should have been the second quarterback taken off the board. But it's
Jalen,
too late for that.
Do you think Justin would have avoided getting hurt? You see, because Trey, the only thing,
yes,
Trey just keeps getting
because
hurt.
he can. Yes, he's a better Ronbo. I'm about to say this, and some people in the chat might not agree with me. Trey is not a dynamic runner. He's not. Not at the NFL level. At the college level, Ronbo. I mean, is he a better runner than Marcus Mariota? Is he really?
Mariota proved to me that he's one of the best runners I've ever seen. What he did to the 49ers this year was ridiculous.
Trey's not faster than Mariota, Ronbo.
No,
I'm telling you, Justin Fields is a way better athlete than Trey Lance.
And he ran off and left people. I was watching that a couple of times. I just, people don't know it, but Justin Fields can really run.
Justin would not have ran the inside. He would have bounced all of his runs to the outside because he has the speed to do it. Trey doesn't. So, yes, I think he would have been able to defend himself. And I've seen Justin slide in college. But we're not here to talk about Justin. Kyle has already made mistakes drafting quarterbacks. He took Solomon Thomas instead of Patrick Mahomes. So, I mean, we've seen him miss out.
Don't forget about C.J. Beathard.
Yeah, I mean, So, I mean, he took Solomon. Deshaun was there. Mahomes was there. He could even. I mean, he would. He could. I mean, hey, Ronbo. I mean, hey. Like I said, it's Super Bowl or he has to go at this point. Because I mean, what else can we say? We compete every year. We get there and we fail. So I need a Super Bowl or I need him out the building. I mean, and if you ask me from who do we need to replace him with? I mean this in the most serious way possible. I don't care. I don't care.
I thought you give me a name.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Because Kyle, you can't get over the hump. You brought us back to relevancy. Okay, we're relevant. Where's our ring? I'm cool with relevancy now. I want a ring, and we can't get it as long as if Cal's head is too big. He got the big head. His ego is bad. He's like the quarter, but he's the coach version of Aaron Rodgers. He think he's too good. Yeah, so I'm glad Aaron Rodgers didn't come here. That'd be horrible. Too much ego.
And at the golf course, talking trash out where everybody can hear him.
Yeah,
anyway, Jalen, we gonna go. I'm gonna tell you what. I always appreciate you. You always got solid take. I mean, I think Sunday be back looking for you, okay?
All right.
Let the NFC West know how you feel before you leave. I love when you do that.
You talking about them bombs in the West? McClay got fought. Oh, what's his name? Cliff got booted.
Yeah.
McVay play calls like he pooted. What's the old dude name? Pete Carroll chews gum like a Ronbo. I can't really think of one right now. This game's still in my head. I'm not gonna lie. This game.
They've actually
I'm still mad because I don't know who to blame. I don't know who to blame, so I'm still trying to get over this loss. I'm not gonna lie.
It's painful. And then next week they're having a Super Bowl. I'm trying to block it out. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, I'll see you Sunday, fam.
Maybe next time, Ronbo, I'll have some ready for you.
I know you will. You're good at that. All right, David. Have a great night, fam. And let's see what G49 says. Reed with Mahomes said Hill with Hill. We need an O-line. We do, Kyle. I hope that's what you guys are thinking about over there in the front office. Don't come back with nothing weak to protect our quarterback. Games are won at the line of scrimmage. Clearly, that's been the case forever. Kyle, check your ego and quit choking. Fool. I'm reading what he said. James, did he said? If he said, would you say Kyle is a leader of men? Well, he used to be. I don't know what's going on with that. Why we can't get past this one roadblock. I don't know what to say about Kyle when it comes to that. They seem to follow him. Hey, Joey, is it Joe? Joey, I don't feel like saying Joey. I'm in pain here. Joey, come in here and give me a Band-Aid and fix me a drink. Single malt liquor,
Mike,
please.
I'll get you. Yes, I give you more than a Band-Aid. I give you a steak dinner. I'll give you whatever you want, Robo.
Give me, Can we do carbonara with a steak dinner? Those are my two favorite. Yeah,
No problem. No problem. Pull up. I got you.
Joey, man, you're here whining like we do this time every year, and some things are being said about what we should have did different, and we got two quarterbacks again. We got two quarterbacks every year. Joey started anyway. Are you right about? Go ahead.
If our head coach don't get all our quarterbacks hurt,
right.
What am I
in the locker room or out in the parking lot before they even get on the field? Our quarterbacks are just, they just step on landmines as they're walking to their house. Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I will say this: no, Reddick never played for us, Ronbo. Reddick never.
Who was that guy that came
he
into
never
camp
did.
and was in 1 or 2 days?
Remember.
And I could have sworn it was him.
No.
Right.
Reddick was.
He's always one of the Eagles.
27.
He was in the Rams,
Reddick
right?
was actually. No, Reddick was in our division, but he played for the Cardinals for 4 years.
I'm sorry, Cardinals.
And then he got drafted the same year Kyle Shanahan came to San Francisco, 2017.
Yeah, I know. There was some big name guy that I was like, whoa, he's in camp. I thought it was this guy. Anyway.
No, it wasn't him. Anyways.
Go back and look back.
Yeah. Rombo. Here's my question. And I'm going to make it a simple question for you. Yeah. Is Kyle Shanahan ever going to get over the hump? That's what I want to know.
See, I wish I knew. I thought this was it. I thought we had somehow got lucky, and this is it. Because we could get past the Eagles. I know we can get past the Eagles. And no, we can't. I was shocked.
I wasn't. You know why? Because everything Trez said, everything Big Show says is absolutely 100% right. Did you know, Ronbo, I got a story to tell you. Before week 7, Trez, me and Trez are good friends. He calls me from time to time. He calls me up every week, every Sunday before every game. He would call me up. Joe, I'm telling you, Joe, I'm telling you, Kyle Shanahan needs to go. He ain't the guy. That's what he always says. Joe, listen to me. He's not the guy. We need to fire him. And this is back when we weren't doing good. Then we get Christian McCaffrey. He called me up right when we got Christian McCaffrey. He said, "You think it's gonna get better, Joe?" I says, "I hope so." He said, "Nope. Watch. It's not gonna get better." Rombo.
But it did.
We lost to the Chiefs. No, hold on. We lost to the Chiefs. So he got to call me one last time. He said, "See, I told you, Joe. I told you. Nothing's changed. We got to get rid of him." Ronbo,
He'd
that
only
was the
been here
last
for
time I heard
less than 24 hours. So.
Ronbo, the point was that was the last time he called me. And it was the last time he called me for the rest of the season, brother.
Well, we went on,
I did not hear from him.
We went on a run from that, and it's hard to justify.
Right.
You know.
Right. But I will say this: Kyle Shanahan doesn't get out of his own way, though. Right? He compounds, playoff blunders with more playoff blunders, and the playoff blunder was having a third string tight end blocking the second best leading pass rusher in the NFL. Like that
Reddick was
just
number
not
2,
smart.
wasn't he?
Like I would. Yeah, he was number 2. He was 15.5 sacks, brother. Like, come on. Like,
No,
how you
7.
gonna have a
No,
third
you're
string?
behind. He was 1 behind Nick. He had 17.
Was it 17?
17.
Okay.
I didn't even know. I said, "Whoa, Nick won!" But damn, I didn't know Reddick was that close. I was shocked when I saw Reddick had 17. But then again, we shouldn't be shocked because they had 70 total with that defensive line from hell.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is that you literally put a tight end on a guy who, like you said, had 17 sacks. Like, that's not smart. Like, that's only bad things is going to happen. And you had a rookie quarterback too. Like, you need to protect him. Like, and then like one of the callers said earlier, like, this isn't Kyle Shanahan's first time of getting his quarterbacks hurt. Like, go back to his whole career, right?
Yeah.
RG3, his career was cut short because of Kyle Shanahan. Johnny Manziel, I know he wasn't a great quarterback, but guess what? Kyle Shanahan got him hurt. Guess what? When he came to the 49ers, when he came to the 49ers, guess what? He's got every quarterback on our team hurt, brother. He got Brian Hoyer hurt. He got C.J. Beathard hurt. He got Nick Mullins hurt.
Refresh me on Brian Hoyer. What was Brian Hoyer's injury though? Before you go further, I forgot about him.
I think he got a concussion. He got a concussion. I think so. Yeah, it was a concussion, and I know for a fact with all the shots that with C.J. Beathard took, damn well that guy got hurt. He got hit. He got hit. He
got hit hard.
Yeah, and dude, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey, Purdy, and Josh Johnson all in one season. Come on, Kyle. You kidding me?
2 in
How
1
you
day.
Gonna get all 4 quarterbacks hurt?
2 in 1 day.
Man.
2 in 1 day. I've never seen that before. 2 in 1 day. Are you we don't have another quarterback. That's when we propose that 3 quarterbacks are allowed to suit up for a game. Well, Kyle, John, that's just
right.
And we can
and then Ronbo check this out, right? That's not even, it sucked. Like, we lose our quarterback. Yeah, the game was over at that point. But let's go into his playoff coaching, right? Like, he blew a 25-point lead. Okay, whatever. Comes to the Niners, blows a 10-point lead to the Rams, right? Blows
Chiefs.
another, or sorry,
Rams
to the Chiefs,
actually.
and then wait, hold on, yeah, right. And so the Chiefs, and then the next time we had a chance, he blows another 10-point lead against the Rams. Oh, by the way, he goes into week 1 with a brand new quarterback, new toy to play with, Trey Lance. He blows another 10-point lead in Chicago. Like, come on, Kyle. Like, how many leads you gonna blow, bro? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, at some point, I gotta ask, like,
is
this the right coach? Because my thing is, he can't finish. He's a great coach. Don't get me wrong.
Joe, we gotta go though. There's gonna be plenty to. That's why I want to make sure that this is open for people to come in and let it out. So listen, I tell you what, I'll see you Sunday, and Kyle's not gonna get fired between here and Sunday. So Trez, we're gonna have to endure this. He'll get through this, guys. We have to believe. Oh, we went through every scenario. Now they're over. We've adjusted. We got to get it done. All right.
One last thing, Ronbo. Ronbo. Real quick. I would not be mad if we went after Derek Carr. I'm just saying. I would love to have Derek
Let's
Carr.
get on it Sunday.
I ain't even like. All right, Ronbo. Shout out to production. Shout out to you. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Go.
Thanks, Joey. Talk to you later. Oh, God.
You too, buddy.
Derek Carr. That means we have given up all hope on our quarterbacks. Derek Carr gets paid $40 million a year, and he's not going to let the Raiders out of that contract. They're going to have to trade him. They're not going to. They might cut him, but then they got a dead cap from hell. Oh no! Here we go. Well, at least Marketing Pro. It's not a Philly fan or Ready to Go. Well, I think Ready to Go is in disguise in my Instagram. I think that's who that is. That I'm that close from blocking. Boy, hey, 49 Phil says, luck Kyle did not get third quarterback CMC. That would have been a new record.
Yo, Ronbo, what it do, player?
CMC, man, we're looking forward to 2023 like Nick and George are. So I say George Kittle and Nick Bosa and everybody else on the team. We're looking forward to coming down to SoFi.
Man, what the Bosa bros, man, even Joey Bosa got heckled by the Philly fans. That was crazy.
That's just
crazy.
wrong
I don't
on
know
so
if you
many
saw
levels.
the video.
Yeah. Well, Joey got in trouble
by the way,
for
in the
getting
summer,
mad. I think they fined him for throwing his helmet down on the ground.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, nobody's going to heckle the GOAT, Aaron Donald, like that. They'd know better. But that's no story. Now, you know what I'm saying? Kyle about to start in a new movie. It's coming out this summer. It's called The Hitman, the QB Hitman. Y'all need to see that. Now, they were talking about it even on, it's starting to get out there. Is Kyle Shanahan a QB killer? And they brought up his boy McDaniels, because look what happened to Tua. They're running the same playbooks. It's not quarterback safe. This playbook is not quarterback safe. Quarterback's going to get hurt. Kyle needs to adjust his playbook. And you're listening to some of the callers. They're starting to understand what Marketing Pro dropped last call. Kyle Shanahan and good quarterbacks is just not a thing. Look at the list. You can see the list of it's ridiculous. So do you feel
Mikey Pro, one thing I want to mention though, McVay's out of that tree too, because Stafford was holding his head on trying to stop it from ringing for a while too. Though.
Well, what happened was our whole offensive line ended up on IR, but McVay's plays developed quick. If you look at that game, Stafford dropped that 72-yard touchdown bomb. It was a dime, and it was quick. But unfortunately, our left and right side, as you know, the legend, retired. So that was a great wall of China, just like Trent Williams. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm telling you right now, that misdirection stuff is getting quarterbacks killed. And now, the other narrative I have: will Trey Lance run on run plays for Kyle? I doubt it, and there could be drama there as well.
You bring up a point that a lot of people aren't going to want to talk about, but I do worry if Trey comes back shell-shocked about running, because you know how bad that must have hurt. Just recently getting some screws paid out because the screws was hurting the soft tissue in his foot. He does not want to go through that pain no time soon. So will it affect him? I don't know.
Well, you're an ex-football player, and that was a devastating injury, unfortunately, for Trey. Did you know guys that just trusted their leg right away after an injury like that?
No.
I don't know.
Even when I pulled a hamstring, I was afraid to explode off of it for that entire season, as I remember, because you just know it's going to twang. So I can't imagine what busting up a bone in your foot is like. I don't know what that's like.
And now, and in the media, the media guy called him out. He goes, "Hey, you've been injured in quarterbacks. What's up?" He goes, "Oh, the Trey play was a football play." Yeah, but he still didn't admit he didn't injure Trey. And then the way he treated Jimmy, did you see how he was talking about Jimmy? And then Jimmy Ward went on IG Live and put Kyle on blast.
I know that. See, that's how you lose the locker room. Kyle has got to come in, call a meeting. Look, guys, I know we're at each other's throat right now, but listen, when I say the things I'm saying, it's not about you. It's about my frustration with myself and what's going on. So if I snapped at you, I didn't mean to. And about Jimmy, I answered the question quick because I'm tired of hearing it. He needs to explain, and I have a feeling, I don't know if Kyle's just a complete a-hole. I think he's pissed off about this season. So, I hope.
And, and don't trust everything Kyle says. So that Jimmy G thing, as a Rams fan, I'm not going to celebrate yet. I want Jimmy out of the NFC West, but we'll see. But I don't trust Kyle because last year he said the same nonsense. We moved on. He even said it in a live broadcast. Oh, we moved on from Jimmy. I made the business decision. And then Jimmy was there beating us again. So I hope Jimmy G goes to Miami or somewhere in the AFC, leaves the NFC West.
Jimmy wants nothing more. I'm almost certain if I had to bet on it, I don't think he wants anything more to do with the 49ers. You know, he says, listen, if I come back here, I'm going to want a contract that's worthy of a starter. And also, I'm not, you know, we're going to have some things straight. I'm throwing the ball when I think it's necessary to where I want to throw it. You know, because Kyle, it's got to be hard for Jimmy to play with. Jimmy was better than this when he came to San Francisco. And all of a sudden he's this, and people think he's a bad quarterback, which is not true.
I just know Jimmy G was a hell of a quarterback, and the plays, like I said, take too long, and Jimmy was taking hits, and Kyle is known to make football players go a little extra, and he told Jimmy that year he tore his ACL, hey, come on. He challenged Jimmy to run outside, do all kinds of crazy stuff, and he got him hurt.
Yeah.
So where is Jimmy Garoppolo going, in your opinion?
You know what? We got to do that another day. I have no idea. I can't even imagine right now. Could be the Jets, though. But anyway, Myron Pro, let's talk later. I'll be back Sunday.
Rams Nation NFC takeover.
Have a good night. And we're going to check out Liam.
Ronbo.
Liam, tell you, we're at that point in the season, Liam, where we've been before. We can't even do like the guy says in Star Trek, and we'll go where no man has ever gone before. We've been here how many times? And we're tired of going here. Every year at the same time, Liam, we're in there talking about, oh my God, we did it again. I'm sorry. Liam, I suspect you had something. Yeah, go ahead.
Purdy is the quarterback. It's 100% guarantee.
If he can come back?
He's going to. This is the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like, we got to put some respect on this man's name right now. The NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Last pick in the draft. The offense exploded with him under center. That's reason number one. Yeah. Reason number two, I hate to admit it, Trey hasn't played nearly as much in the NFL, but he's also pretty injury prone. Broke his finger, had a knee sprain, broke his ankle. In far less time than Jimmy's been hurt over the years. Like, just boom, boom, boom. And those injuries all sort of affected him in different ways. It's not a criticism, and he's got a big ceiling. Not here to criticize the kid, and then the third point, I mean, Purdy is him. I mean, when you look at it, and you just see the way he moves the football around the field, the way he talks to the team, the way he moves the team around, the way he stands there, the way he talks to the media, the way he does everything, all of his operations, everything.
Yeah, he's well developed.
He's a quarterback. So, like, we're in such a good place. This is the best place we could possibly be. So, and you know, when you think about, like, oh, we traded all this stuff for Lance. Like, yeah, we did. But we also didn't, like, we took a flyer on a guy in the last round of the draft, last pick of the draft. And he might be the most highly valued new player in the league. He was the most valuable rookie of the year. Offensive rookie. He was the best offensive young player in the league. So, you know, it's sort of like, I guess what I'm saying with that is, like, it just balances out. Like, you don't win them all. Like, think about book publishers. Like, if the publishers of books knew all of the books that were going to be bestsellers before they published them, they would only publish those books.
Exactly.
But they don't. They publish a whole bunch of books because that's life. You know, that's just the way it goes. Trey Lance, hey, maybe he goes some other team, which I highly recommend maybe we consider. But at the same time, we really do got to kind of figure out our quarterback room in the sense that we cannot have this happen again with the injuries and, like.
How do you address that?
But at the same time,
Because it's like I said, if with Jimmy's experience, he wasn't going to lose any more games either. He goes to the Eagles. I think he gets that ball out before Reddick gets there. These are the things that are going to continue to happen.
Jimmy.
The thing is, Brock, from the way it was broken down, Brock had to get rid of the ball just a little quicker because when that window opened, what's his name was already open. All he had to do was let it go.
Yeah, Ayuk. I was watching the play. Like, I can't get a camera on Ayuk, but you can kind of see like the corner come down and the linebacker was biting. I think McCaffrey. McCaffrey came out into the flat. And so they were really keyed up on McCaffrey. They're like, "Oh, damn, come down."
Because McCaffrey,
you could just see Ayuk
does.
just fly.
He provides for the rest.
Exactly.
And also, it tied in on that kind of a play when it's play action or something is not unusual. So that's going to be the case. Most teams run it that way anyway because of the fact you got personnel in different places and that's the only guy available. Your front offensive line is already working. So that's got to be the guy that picks up anything coming around the sides. So, you just got to get rid of the ball.
Ronbo,
I'm not going to get mad at him about that, though. He is a rookie. He had to have time to learn. Now he knows. But unfortunately, his arm got ripped to shreds.
He's the best offensive rookie in the league. He's the quarterback for our team. This is a godsend.
Oh, yeah.
We should be celebrating.
If he only wasn't
so in my mind, the whole question is settled. Yes, he's got this injury, but it's going to get patched up. They've got some good opinions. He's going to make a call for himself. If it happens to be a year, okay, a bit of a different story. I really don't think that's the way this is going to go. The only thing that would result in Trey not being on the team is if Trey gets to a point where he just decides he doesn't want to be a part of that. But at the same time,
he's not going to do that.
But when you think about it, like the difference in the number of snaps, I mean, Brock has played thousands of snaps relative to Trey's like 400 over the last
right
4 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
it's unfortunate. It's sort of the way it all worked out. Like
this season. So.
Trey was the QB1. Trey was QB1 to start the season. Like the Niners said, go for it. And nobody could predict he was going to break his leg and his knee. Like, he would have had how many snaps? He would have started the whole season potentially. But you heard like people were basically saying like Purdy was clearly the best quarterback in camp.
You know what though? I heard that, but you can never take. That's probably opinion. Everything I hear about it in camp, unless it's Kyle, I always look at it. Well, somebody's opinion. So
I guess so, but
now
we saw what Trey was like, and then we saw what Brock was like just a few weeks later in reality.
Brock was a shock. There it is. Brock was a shock.
So could the difference have been that big back at the end of August? Like Brock probably looked the same as he did then, and Trey probably looked the same as he did then. Like
Liam, we got to go. But it's like you said, people were saying he looked good. Liam, we got to go.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, the candidate. They didn't pick it yet, though, did they? Did they pick it yet?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
okay.
I think Fox has one at least, and they gave it to him. So I don't know which one is which. Maybe I got a whole cool my jets here, but
all right. But we got to go. Let me see you Sunday
okay,
before
bye,
production
Ronbo.
cuts us off. I'll see you Sunday.
Yes,
man.
sir. Yep. Shut my
Bye,
trap.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye. Big Show says Eric Bieniemy needs to be our next coach. See, Show, the other thing about Bieniemy, is he a head coach? Some guys are, like Chris Kostorick, is he a head coach? Some of these guys are good at what they do. But can they be a head coach? And then probably people ask the same thing about Kyle, right? 49 feels offseason CMC needs to work on some QB skills. He already does. We got 3 guys that could do, well, 2. Juice is a quarterback. He can be. Yo, Ellis. Ellis. All right, Casey. Casey. All right. There he is.
Well,
and
Ronbo, man.
All right. Hey, Casey. Come on in, man. Did we wake you up?
Are you going with me or what's up?
Well, I was waiting. The names were flashing on my screen next to me. Casey, you're up.
Well, with sake and Rumble, how are you, bud?
Well, as good as a 49er fan can be right now, in case you think about us, and some of us were on suicide watch a few days. Others of us have went to jail for killing somebody. It's just really a bad thing right now to be a 49er fan, but I'm hanging in there. How about
I
you?
know, Rumble. I'm completely out of my over-the-counter medication, doing everything I can to stay meditative, and calm during this trying time. But there's no football on. I'm doing crazy stuff, Rumble. I'm scared, man. I'm betting on tennis. I don't know what the hell is going on right now, man.
NBA.
I just hope they keep Brunskill. I just hope they keep Brunskill and build around number 60. You know what I mean? It doesn't look like Trent's coming back. Doesn't look like the Glitch is coming back.
Okay, no, he didn't say that. He just said, "I've got to think about this."
Oh, man.
I'm 35 years old, man.
Yeah, Trent got paid, and he gave us 1 season or 2 seasons. Whatever. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that got paid and didn't really show up, man. I mean, Fred Warner, he's good, but
Did you enjoy Debo's season? Debo had some. Well, Debo was the same as usual. You know what? We can't get mad. Debo's going to get out. Him and George Kittle are going to miss time. That just has to be understood. But they're
it looked like he started the season kind of slow.
He did.
It looked like he put a little bit of weight on.
Not a little bit. Debo was as big as a house.
Yeah. But he's still one of the fastest players on the field, that's for sure.
I know. Debo had speed. I didn't even know about that one run down the sidelines.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, Debo. I didn't really have that kind of speed.
Really you can really see it on that one, 70-yarder that he had.
That's what I'm talking about. Debo was jamming in the 5th gear that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, man, it ticks me off, Rumble. All these people that call in, saying Kyle's, the reason for all these injuries and stuff. How far are we going to go here, Rumble? I mean, this is someone that spends day and night with this football team. And
this is when we vent, and we're looking for
things.
This
guy, Kyle Shanahan, he's probably like godfather to 5 people on the team, and people, like Kyle's the reason that Trey got killed and stuff. Like, give me a break, man.
Okay,
What is
Casey,
this
your options are every year when we lose, it's either Jimmy or somebody. All right, so you had to come up with somebody.
I mean,
and Michael Lynch is getting some heat, so now it's Kyle.
The one thing is with Trey and stuff, like the frequency of quarterback runs that were being called was too much for me. But that's how Kyle looks at Trey, is he's a dual threat quarterback, and he's I don't know, man. I think it's pretty crazy to hear.
Yeah, but
people
you don't have him running up the middle. Quarterbacks who run hit the sidelines, except for Josh Allen. He's going to get enough of that too. But you got to learn how to run around that heap. Don't run into it. They're waiting for that.
I just think it's crazy that people like marketing slow show up and fail this stuff, Ronbo.
You got to admit he is comedy.
Oh man, is it also John Lynch's fault? Is it, is it the ghost of Bill Walsh's fault? Like, how far are we going to go back here, man? Like, Kyle just calls the plays, and the guy had like $100 million on the injured reserve a couple years ago. Like, it's not his fault that people get injured.
We came close to making the playoffs that year too. I remember that. Yeah.
I think it's a boneheaded argument, Ronbo, and it really ruins my night, Ronbo.
It goes, Casey. How many times have we seen that? It comes and goes. If we're winning, nobody says anything about Kyle. If we're losing, we go right at Kyle. It's the same. Jimmy, when we're winning, nobody says anything. As soon as he loses, that's the way it works. Certain guys are going to get the blame.
Well, and Ronbo, like you say, who are they going to get? They've got a package deal, with Lynch and Shanahan right now.
Jed signed them for how many more years? You know what? Jed would be stuck with the bill. He's still got to pay those guys for whatever amount of years on the contract. There's no if you get cut clause. Management
I don't know. And
different.
To answer that one guy's question, Pete Carroll hasn't had a Super Bowl win in more than 5 years. He's still coaching, so some coaches
he's had one since he's been
5 years.
Since he started, though.
Oh, I get it, but there were plenty of times when the Seahawks could have gone separate ways, but Kyle's just he's been unlucky, man. What can I say?
I feel bad for him too. I feel bad for the team, period, Because they got right there, and this was the team case. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
They're not going to be better. I can't imagine them being better next year than they are right now. No way.
That's what's tough. But they could add, they could find a better third string receiver. I mean, if they keep Jawan, or if Danny Gray starts to show up.
They don't have any money
Danny
anymore.
Gray learns how to block.
Danny Gray, I'm starting to wonder about that. Case, that's the thing. They can't go buy anybody anymore. We've gotten too good.
You got to be,
and you got to pay a lot of guys that are on our team.
You got to do it all in Kyle's offense, man.
Yeah,
it's
actually.
A tough thing to play.
You need to be able to play more than one position.
Yeah. I'd sure like to hear Kyle talk about plays and the reads and everything that happened.
Well, he'll tell you, and it'll make you feel foolish. He said some of these things are football plays, so that'll get him out. Case, we gotta go. I see you Sunday. Hang in there, Case. We're gonna be okay. You get your prescription. The level of potency is gonna be cut down. You're gonna be fine, and we're gonna get to the next season before you know it. All right.
I know, Ronbo. It's either NCAA or tennis for me right now. That's what I'm stuck on. I don't know what the hell is going on over here, Ronbo.
Get ready for March Madness.
Shout out to Jay Tan in the chat, always showing love to me, and Bang Bang Rumble Gang. And I'll catch you on Sunday, Rumbo. Reverend Rumbo.
Love it when you check in. Then I know you're okay. Like Casey. See, we shouldn't be having this discussion every year, though. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there he is. He's Joe's bro. He's one of the founding members of TNT. Trez from Atlanta, GA. Trez. Oh.
Hold up. Wait a minute, Ronbo. Put some red and gold up here.
You ready to put some red and gold in? I thought you were. Okay. I keep it here all the time handy.
Yeah, go and put some red and gold. Ronbo, Case just got off the line. I got a question, Ronbo. Who fault is it? If it's not Kyle's fault, who fault is it?
I blame Jimmy.
You blame Jimmy? Okay, now let me ask you this. If Kyle Shanahan was coaching the Dallas Cowboys and 4 of Jerry Jones' quarterbacks have gotten hurt in one season, you think Jerry Jones is not going to blame Kyle Shanahan for that?
Maybe. Jones never had that situation. I don't know how he got. People wonder why.
No, I'm just saying we know Jerry Jones though. I'm saying
well,
we
that's
know
true.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah,
he gonna put the blame. Some
head's got to roll. That's true.
Yeah, head's got to roll. That's what I'm saying. So in this instance right here, like I'm saying, we so as 49ers fans, we so passive. We so split base. We got half of them like Cal. He can't do no wrong, and then we got the other hand. They don't like Cal. He just do all the wrong. And then there's the ones in the middle on the fence. Okay,
that's me. That's me, Trez. I don't know what to think.
Who's to blame? That's how I'm saying. Who's to blame? Because I look at it like this, Ronbo. You gotta let the head coach speak. I mean, because I'm saying Kyle is responsible for the offense. Kyle calls the play. Yeah. Kyle knows, and all I'm gonna say is this right here. I'm not bashing him. All I'm going to say is Kyle has to get better as a head football coach. He does. You don't see Andy Reid taking Patrick Mahomes, putting him on a power run up the middle. Everything Patrick Mahomes does out there, he's ad-libbing. He's doing that stuff on his own. But I've never seen Andy Reid call that type of a play that he was calling for Trey, running Patrick Mahomes like how Kyle was doing Trey. I've never seen that. That's what I'm saying. He has to elevate himself, Ronbo. He is one of the best play callers in the game as we are into this millennium of football right here. Okay, but he has to get better. He just got to, Ronbo. It's just the bottom line. Mm-hmm. You can't put your quarterback in harm's way. Mm-hmm. Now the Brock Purdy thing. I don't lay that at Kyle's doorstep. I would say this though. I think he called that play prematurely. I would have settled my offense in first, and then took that shot. Maybe on the third series somewhere in there, fourth series. I wouldn't have took it. I wouldn't have took that shot so early. I would have tried to establish the run. I would have tried to establish the run.
And the Eagles hate you to do that
put
anyway.
Some screens.
So yeah.
Yeah, put some short passes out there for him to get my quarterback in a nice rhythm, get him settled down in the game.
Get the jitters out. Yeah, I like that.
Right. Those type of things. We've been there before, Ronbo. We all have.
Yeah.
We've seen coaches mastermind and get their quarterback settled down early. So that's what I'm saying.
Especially with a rookie.
Better. That's all we saying. Right. That's all we saying.
8
now,
games.
Let's go to the Brock Purdy story, because we're gonna be split on this too. Okay, Brock Purdy was a great story for this year. We don't know what Brock Purdy's gonna look like after this injury. Just like everybody got doubts about Trey, you got to have doubts about Brock Purdy too. You don't know if he's gonna come back the same guy after this injury. You don't know what his strength gonna be like in his arm. You don't know how long this injury is gonna linger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's an unknown right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the same questions they have for Trey, you got to have for Purdy too. So I look at it as a quarterback competition going into next year.
Well,
that's all it is.
And it's worrisome just from some of the other stuff you just said about that. You don't know we don't know what either one of them's going to look like after some of these serious injuries.
Because contrary to belief, a lot of people don't know when you have Tommy John, that's 12 months. When he's having this, if you don't do the Tommy John, you do the other one. I forgot what they call it.
It's just a repair.
It's a 6 month.
Tommy John is a full rebuild. This is a repair. Trez.
But a lot of people getting it misconstrued.
Trez, here's the thing. If it's not the right procedure, that arm's going to flare up. Probably sooner than later after the season. We'll know. And that third month, when they try this, he'll know something in the fourth month. It feels better, Coach, or it still hurt. And then we'll hear that news. Brock Purdy seems he's going back in for another look at that arm, and then we'll know we're in trouble as far as he goes.
Right, like they had to do Trey's foot. They had to go back for a second surgery. So it's just the unknown. And like I was going to say about his injury, I read something up on it too. It's a 6 month. I read that it's a 6 month healing process, and it's an additional 3 to get the strength back into the arm. So it's a total of 9 months. And this is without the Tommy John.
Well,
so I'm saying, it's contradicting things that are going on.
Months,
you know what I'm saying?
And then 3 months for it to build strength. But anyway, there's probably all kinds of reports circulating.
I doubt that, Rumble. I really do doubt that 3 months and then 3 months to get 6 months. I doubt that. If you go online and Google it yourself, it says 6 months with 3 months. It just depends, though. And he has a tear. So I don't know. I just say, hey, look, if he's not there, it's Trey. And people need to get behind Trey. And I don't get it because they be talking about, oh, well, you know how many quarterbacks in the league that have had more time at quarterback than Trey Lance that are playing second string? A heap of them. Heap of them.
Just
4-year college coming out, plenty of football behind them. Just Brock Purdy was just a remarkable story, Ronbo. That's all it was.
Trish, we're going to run out of time here, but listen, I wish you now the season's over, you can get back here more often. I always love hearing from you. Sunday.
All right, Ronbo.
All right.
Take care. Have a good one. Thank you to our team for an excellent season. It was a great ride. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? And let's go get it next year.
Oh, please, let's get it. Finally.
All right, Ronbo. Have a good one.
Night, Trez. Right. Big Show goes on to say Brunskill overrated AF. You know what, Show? That's not true. Brunskill, nobody looks at him. They look at him as adequate. Nobody's ever accused Brunskill of being great. He didn't do a great block this year. That one block, though, he'll go down in history for that one block that freed McCaffrey, though. That was the timing on that was just a gorgeous thing to watch. I disagree. Thanks for that contribution, Show. Ellis.
Ron Bizzle.
Ellis, I don't know if you've been listening or not, but waiting for your turn, but we've been talking about our two boys that coming back next year to quarterback for us. And like Trez just pointed out, which is even more scary, we don't know what either one of them is going to look like coming back off these injuries. I didn't think about that. We can never go too much about what the doctors are saying about these kids. We'll know when we know, and we won't know a minute before, which could be months away. Predictions are one thing, but the facts, we haven't seen that yet. Also, we have 2 quarterbacks, and Kyle said, no, I've got 2 starting caliber quarterbacks, and I don't see any need to look for any further. Okay, Kyle, you're not serious. You're pissed off right now. You're just talking crazy, right? You have 3 quarterbacks every year. What are you talking about? So, Ellis, I know you got some opinions on different things. Jump on in there. Go ahead. Guys, don't let JD get away with that comment. The wall is missing a quarterback, just like the Niners. Get him. All right, go ahead, Ellis.
Yeah, no, Carl's bluffing. He's going to add another quarterback. Obviously, he never goes without at least 3 quarterbacks on the team. So I'm anxious to see
I don't know why he
who
says
decides
those
to bring in.
Huh.
He'd have been better off keeping. I mean, it would have taken longer, I think, to get Jason Eason, acclimated to the offense. But he's a much.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he hasn't even got a chance. Yeah, he hasn't even got a chance to, show himself or do anything. I wonder what he would have looked like had we had got him in the offense and what have you. But it might have taken more time. It would have been too much work, I think, for Kyle. Considering what we were trying to get accomplished throughout the season, it would have been too much of a responsibility on him. And then between bringing guys off IR.
Ellis, you're right. We got players that can't get a chance to play because if you don't know what we're doing, I don't have time to teach you. Look at T.Y., the running back. Kyle even told people, he's pretty much in a bad position. He doesn't get any snaps, and he's not on special teams. And that's why he got passed up by Jordan Mason. One reason, other than he's better. Mason's still better, I think. But go ahead.
Well, Jordan Mason was better on special teams than Ty Davis-Price was. And so if you're not good on special teams, and when we put you in, if you don't show us anything, then you're not going to get an opportunity. That's kind of how that's their philosophy, at least for Kyle.
Keep reading the playbook.
You have to be multifaceted. You got to be able to do more than one thing, I think, to play on this team. That's at least what we've seen.
Yeah.
We like utility guys.
Tackles.
Right. Mitch Wisnowski can lay hats as well.
Mitch is good.
He can lay hats. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Everybody, not everybody, but I heard you talking about Show saying something, or was Show talking about Brunskill?
I like him.
If we can keep him for cheap, I keep him. He's played every position on the line for us. He's the only guy that we could actually say, hey, we need you to play this, and he'll take the job.
He'll do it, yeah.
He's learned a lot throughout the time. He may not be 100% on his job all the time or capable of doing everything to the fullest of expectation from, others, but shit, I'll take him over Mike McGlinchey.
Somebody had to say it. Ellis took that pleasure.
I'll be the one. I'm your Huckleberry. Yeah, come fuck with me over here. But it's sad because Mike McGlinchey was very arrogant in what he was,
Oh, you saw that interview in the locker room? Yeah. I did a great job this year, and I feel like I earned Mike. Humble up, man. Stop.
Well, and then I'm seeing pictures of him in the NFC Championship game where he's letting guys just blow past him, and we're having we're doing 3 and outs, and he's just running off the field like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
with the Dallas
it's embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, he got flipped over by Michael Parsons. I mean, Michael Parsons is 100 pounds or more or less heavier than McGlinchey.
That's why that locker room conversation was kind of beyond belief. Mike, what are you talking about? Say things like, well, I know I've got room to improve, and I'm going to be looking to improve. I thought I sort of made some moves forward this year. But say something like that, but I thought he did really great this year. Oh, Mike.
Yeah, but I'm just Kyle's going to get another quarterback, and as far as the health with these guys, I mean, it's basically prayers up at this point. We don't know what Trey's going to look like coming in, playing full speed, training camp day in and day out, rigorous training and stuff, full speed, full contact stuff. We don't know how he's going to respond,
Lynch
and we don't know.
Lynch already told him he's got to prove he can stay healthy.
Yeah, he needs to
That's
get
a lot of pressure to put on him.
He's got to find a way.
Don't say that.
Well, but you can't prevent injury. I mean, John Lynch played defense. When you play defense, it's a lot easier to stay healthy. I feel like than the offense.
I agree.
Because you're unleashing on your opponent versus
the pain.
On the offense, you're trying to evade. So that's just common sense. So John's kind of being an ass with that one. But it's agitating because we can't see what we would like to see coming from Trey with the injuries. But we could say the same shit about Jimmy. We could say the same thing about any and everybody else that's getting injured and stuff like that.
Yeah. George Kittle.
And it happens.
Debo.
Protect them better. Get 3 linemen in the draft. Do what this. I mean, no, I'm not. Look what the Seahawks did in their draft. As much as I hate them, they did so damn good. They had 2 rookies starting the whole season. They played damn great ball on the offensive side of the ball.
Pretty good. Yep.
And then they got a 5th round pick, I think, this year in the draft coming up. So they're about to clean up again in the draft.
And then
look, we
shit like he ain't already.
Yeah. Oh well, he's a douche like his last name. But anyway, we just got to stay focused on that draft. I was thinking about D'Amico. I think somebody else is gonna go. I heard Brandon Ayuk talking with Brad Graham earlier on live for about an hour and some change, and they were talking about him, staying and whatnot. And I don't know. He doesn't seem fully engaged with wanting to be a Niner, and I know he's trying to get the money. And basically, he was kind of alluding to there's a lot of guys that already got paid, or there's a lot of money basically that's already being delegated to different.
Right, Ellis. He knows there may not be no money left soon.
And this is Nick Bosa's payday year.
I know. See, and how much he left.
So,
Ellis, we're probably going to talk about this a lot. Let's do it Sunday.
Yeah.
We're going to run out of time here. But
that's a bit.
Right,
yeah. So hopefully he stays. We'll see what's happening. Yeah, I appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, man. You know where you at. Wipe your feet, and it's for life. Appreciate the platform, fam.
Yeah.
As always.
Thank you, Ellis. Appreciate you. All right, sir.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
later.
Peace.
And there's Merrick. Hey, Merrick.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, Merrick. We're doing the annual postseason. Why? We did this right. We look like we're doing our thing. And now you're looking at these press conferences and things are being said that are irritating.
Yeah.
We got 2 quarterbacks, and Kyle saying I'm not going to be looking around for any other quarterback. And Kyle, you're lying. John's not going to let you do that even if you want to. And then you have the situation coming up next year with us losing a lot of players. So, and if you're going to blame, and we do this every year, we blame somebody for our misgivings. Who do you blame this year? Because Kyle's this year on the hot seat since Jimmy's not available to blame. John Lynch never gets blamed. There's only a couple of people who get blamed on this team for things. One of them's out of the picture, and there's Kyle. Do you agree with that?
I don't really agree with any of the blame because Kyle took the last pick of the draft and went on a 7 or 8 game win streak with him. I don't think any other head coach would have done that. It's just unfortunate that injuries had to strike at the worst possible time.
No, we could have beat the Eagles. I could see it coming. Damn it.
Yeah.
It's okay. We play them next
I heard some people talking about bringing in Derek Carr, and I wouldn't be opposed to it because he might just get straight up cut, and so you wouldn't have to trade picks for him.
Or that $40 million contract. But he's going to have a number of places to go if he gets cut, which is going to pay more than the 49ers would pay him. My guess. He maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't really see any other quarterback option out there that's like a solid veteran, unless Kyle wants to draft a few quarterbacks this year.
We can Fitzpatrick, I like Fitz.
Yeah, but he's retired. I don't think he's going to come back out of retirement.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not either. Fitz is having a great time on NFL Network anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just kind of I think a lot of fan bases, whenever they lose, it's tough, and everyone wants to fire everyone, and then we win, and everyone's happy. So it's kind of it's a yearly blame cycle. So
wait, one more question, America. J Boogie 10, Baker Mayfield, anyone?
I don't know. His name is
with the Rams. I don't know if they're going to resign. He only had. I don't know what kind of contract did he have with the Rams. Rams fans, is Baker Mayfield? Is he wrapped up? Has he got a contract? I don't like Baker Mayfield though. Because
I think
he comes in with an attitude.
This year, so you could get him for relatively cheap.
I know, but can he behave, please? Don't rock the boat in the locker room. And
Yeah.
Of course, our boat has already been rocked.
Yeah, I get that, but
Jimmy Ward is a little pissed off right now.
I'm tired of being a quarterback away.
I know we haven't been a quarterback away. It's been a play away. Because you look at this year, we lost. It had all to do with the quarterback. Now the quarterback wasn't available to play. He got killed in the middle of a throw. The Eagles weren't going to beat the 49ers. I am almost certain of it. I don't know about beating the Chiefs, but we were definitely going to the Super Bowl, and where anything can happen.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, Merrick, what you're saying, that means if he doesn't work out, if Brock doesn't work out, we're back on the quarterback market. No, this has got to stop. And besides, this team doesn't rely solely on the quarterback.
It is true because let's say Trey isn't, what he was cracked up to be as a top 5 talent, and Purdy's arm isn't nearly as good with that elbow, then we're in a lot of trouble.
Oh, no. It's not going to happen that way. We're going to be fine. We have
Hopefully.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to win to see the 49ers win the Super Bowl before I turn 50.
Well, before you die, and I'm talking to kids who are 18, because the thing is, the 49ers.
I'm 22, so.
God, would they please stop finding ways to lose?
Last time the 49ers won the Super Bowl was 5 years before I was born.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's not ours. Damn it. This was the year that we had all the pieces right in place. Merrick, that defense was shut down. The big Eagles weren't going anywhere. The most Eagles might have scored in that game was 17, maybe 21 at the most. But the 49ers, we were going to get running at some point. The Eagles hate when you run. You're not going to have McCaffrey on a team. McCaffrey, what he did to get that touchdown, and him and Juwan Jennings, Juwan's holding him up while his feet are running like a toy. I will never forget that run as long as I live. McCaffrey's going down. They got to hit him. Juwan Jennings has got a grip on him. Juwan's holding him up. Juwan, it's like one of those things you see in some kind of a circus. Jennings lets him go. And there he goes. Touchdown, Niners. Look at that teamwork. See, you could see the 49ers had it in them. The fight was there. They were not going to hold us down. But you still need a quarterback to hit those basic plays we like to run. Oh, it's just hard to relive.
The suckiest thing was if Kroff had held that block for just a second longer. Ayuk was wide open doing a comeback on the outside that would have probably been a touchdown.
Well, yeah, it was. But he had time. He should have got rid of it earlier. I don't know when he saw Ayuk is when it is. If he sees Ayuk earlier, he could have led Ayuk right to, like you're saying, that might have went all the way. Okay, see, here we go, reminiscing on things that should have been. Merrick, we're going to go. Be back looking for you Sunday.
All we can do is reminisce. There's no football until August.
God, it's such a long time away. Wait, it's not that long. We got the draft coming up in April, and that's only a couple of months away. Before you know, we're back in it. OTAs and everything else. As long as the guys are out in the field, I feel like the season's underway.
I just hope we can finally win, or we're gonna become like Cowboys fans, saying we're sorry here every year.
Oh, no, anything but that. I'll stop talking before I become a Cowboy fan. Raiders do that too. They used to. It's comical. Merrick, I'll see you Sunday. Damn it.
All right.
All right, man. You see, fam, there are things that are destined, and there are things that are going to happen regardless as to. You believe in fate and destiny, right? Hey, Tony. Come on in, T. Ian Sharp. Mullins flashbacks watching Glock. Tony. Gene D, boy. Gene, you realize you got swept and you got beat 3 times last year. Gene, I don't know how you guys have the cojones to come in. Hey, Tony. Tony, I hear some noise, Tony. There you go. Yeah. Tony, come on in, man.
I'm walking towards the...
You what?
What's up, Bravo?
We're sitting there whining because we're blaming people, and every year we have to get. I'd love to see what it's like for us to get into a Super Bowl, win that, and who would we praise? Yeah, good. We'd have to give Shanahan love, and whoever the quarterback is, he might get love as long as it's not Jimmy, because they'll say everybody but him. And I just wonder what that would be like, though. We just can't get that opportunity. Well, you know what it's like. You went through this with Kyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan, they hated him every year.
Yeah.
Every year. But that, people in Atlanta, Ronbo, that's sometimes I wish that Michael Vick was never drafted by the Falcons.
Yeah, he's left a standard, right?
Yeah, but they, it's unfair. It's unfair. Matt Ryan's in the top 10 all time in every quarterbacking statistical category. But yet, Michael Vick. Do you see how I was telling you how they was acting when Deshaun Watson was rumored to come to the Falcons? They want that second coming of Michael Vick, and they will not stop. Michael Vick won nothing for us. He just put on the show.
Deshaun ain't won nothing either, to be honest, because Deshaun got snatched from behind, and people give him every excuse in the book against the Kansas City Chiefs. I said, you know what? I like Deshaun. He's a good quarterback, but you know what? It is what it is. Deshaun got snatched. There were some extenuating circumstances, I understand, but just like Aaron Rodgers. In fact, Tony, is Aaron Rodgers, see, that's why he's not in the top 5 list of a lot of people that are picking greatest quarterbacks of all time. Joe Montana is still seen by many as the greatest Super Bowl quarterback of all time. The greatest
quarterback of all time.
Period. And the best regular season quarterback may be Peyton Manning. You might have to make an argument for that. Tom Brady is, for longevity reasons, got to be rated in the top 5. You go down the list and you look at the real obstacles for a quarterback to endure and get past. You got to rate honestly, And yeah. But Matt's longevity also, and having eclipsed the records that you said, he may be being underrated as well. Because you look at Johnny Unitas also. He's got to be somewhere in that top 5. It's a really tough thing to pick quarterbacks.
And before John Unitas, Otto Graham, all those championships.
Yeah, you look at the records and things like that. Bart Starr was a bad boy too,
Yes, yes. But they're gonna say, well, he didn't have the numbers. He won championships. So, I just Ronbo. They showed. It's funny. NFL Network, you know how they got to do kiss Tom Brady's butt. So they showed all these Super Bowls,
I saw Super Bowl 51 again when I got home from hospital. I sat there and watched it again.
I don't know how you did it. I never watched those. When I see the 49ers getting beat and they want to show it over again, I refuse to watch. You did good. What do you think? What did you say? You see anything different this time?
And Ronbo, I keep going back to Shanahan. You know how it is. You insanities, and you see the same thing and you want a different result. I knew the game was over.
Yep.
But situational football, who you gonna make the catch? We got the ball at the 22-yard line with 4:30 left. First down. We hand the ball off to Devontae Freeman. He runs left. He loses a yard. The clock is running. Second down. And I start screaming again. Why are you in the shotgun? Why? You know, they're tired. It's the fourth quarter. We just gave up 25 points. You know what I mean? Run the football.
Huh.
We kick a
and
field goal
you kill
range,
the clock, and you got a lead.
Yes.
That's the thing to do.
Yes. And Ronbo. And then yesterday, I saw they showed Super Bowl 54. I watched that whole game. I said, I can't believe that the Niners up 20-10. And it wasn't just to decide the fourth. Y'all was up with 7:04 to go in the fourth quarter. So half the quarter was
you see that little clock on the sideline that projected the win clock percentage? 100% was supposed to win that game. The 49ers defense had given up that many points in that length of time all year long.
Yeah. And why? They had that same thing with the Falcons game, 100% as far as winning. Why those Shanahan failures? Because he refused to run the ball when it counted. On both occasions. But I'm not going to sit here and blame your coach, Ronbo.
No, he's supposed to learn from his mistakes. And I don't, Kyle's got to know when to stop throwing the ball. There are times you got to stop throwing it, and if you're going to throw it, make sure it's a short thing. A short pass, you
guys should have had another Lombardi, and we should have had our first Lombardi.
Yep.
End of story. So, but Ronbo, I saw some good college talent at the East-West Shrine game last night.
You watch that?
This kid, Garcia Ramirez from Eastern Michigan, defensive end. I seen him play though. He had 7.5 sacks for Eastern Ronbo. That would be a good third or fourth round pick for somebody as a rotational pass rusher.
Man. Edge rushers. See, who was that talking about earlier? The defensive edge rushers have evolved beyond the offensive players, offensive linemen. In the trenches now, the defense is actually starting to win. And it figures so, Tony, because if it's going to be a passing game, that's what's going to happen. Now your edge rushers are fiends. When it was a run game, offensive linemen were like the stars, right? So it's really crazy out there, Edge rushers.
And if you notice, teams like your team, back in the old days, remember the Purple People Leaders? You had Jim Marshall and Carl Eller, defensive ends.
But
now, like
Larson,
your team,
Eller,
you got to
Marshall,
have 4
Page.
or 5 of them, those rotational pass rushers.
Yeah, keep them fresh, keep them strong.
Keep them fresh. Yep. And Ronbo, I heard somebody in your phone call chat tonight talk to you. They was talking about Falcon free agent Caleb McGarry possibly coming in. Remember I was telling you about that?
Yeah. I that's why when I asked you about him, I said, that's right. Huh?
Great run blocker. Great run blocker.
Is he good protector?
He's average in pass coverage. Needs some more work in that. But he's a great run blocker.
Kyle loves run blockers, and you know this. So
he's a huge dude. He hunts bears too, Ronbo, up in the Washington Mountains.
Probably with his bare hand and a knife, right?
Oh, I'm sure he don't do that.
Tony, we gotta go
he's
though.
A big dude.
Yeah, like that dude that plays for the Eagles. That guy from New Zealand or wherever he's from. That is a huge man. Wow, he's always big. They put a camera close on him.
6'8", the kid from Ohio State, Ronbo. He was a second round projection, but in the drills he was popping everybody. Right tackle, 6'8". That's why I wanted to trade down. Ohio State. I forgot his first name. His last name Jones, Darius Jones or something like that. 6'8", 375.
Well, Tony, I got to take a look now just because you mentioned. I'll tell you what I'm going to see. Well, Tony, one thing though. Here's the thing. Ray Barrios, I'm a fanboy because I picked Joe as the number 1 Super Bowl quarterback. Because I didn't mention Tom Brady. I did mention Tom Brady, Ray. I said he was in the top 5. But I'm not giving him best Super Bowl quarterback.
Tom Brady lost 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, you know.
Well, Tom Brady lost 3 Super Bowls. He should have lost 5.
You know, so fanboy me all you want, but that's BS. He wasn't better than Brady. I mean, he wasn't better than Joe as far as Super Bowl goes. And if you think so, then you're a fanboy. You're a fanboy of Tom Brady. So, you know.
And Joe has never thrown an interception in 4 Super Bowl games, not one.
It takes a certain kind of grit. And Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning gets you to the playoffs in a heartbeat. So, you know, and Aaron Rodgers might be number 6 or somewhere in there. You know, but you know, you got to rate these guys as what they accomplished. Yeah.
But Joe Montana won Super Bowls for Jerry Rice. I'm like, excuse me, Joe Montana won 2 Super Bowls when Jerry Rice was in college at Mississippi Valley State. He had already won 2.
You know, was his best receiver. So, you know, call him, you know, Joe is it. A lot of people agree. That's not fanboy. That's how it is.
That's
anyway,
facts, Jack.
Dude, Tony, you got time? What are you talking about, Ray? You don't think Joe was one of the best? Tony, we gotta go. I will see you Sunday if you got time.
Ronbo, I would like to give a shout out to Ellis. Ellis is the man, Ronbo. Ellis and Big Show, because they know your team, and we'll talk on Sunday because you had went off after the radio game. Who was that? Somebody was giving a shout out to Gene D. And you went off.
Oh,
so you don't be giving shouts out to Gene D and these trolls in my chat.
Young Montana, the dude has been making it a point all season long after Trey went down to root for the other team. Now, he wasn't doing that before that. So, you know, what are you doing? Are you a 49er fan or not?
Fan.
You don't have to start rooting for the guys
fan.
we hate the most. What is that about?
I call him Young Hannah Montana in the chat.
That's strange. So anyway.
But I'll see you Sunday, Ronbo, and have some try to catch at least a quarter of the Senior Bowl tomorrow. Some good collegiate talent tomorrow.
Yeah, I've been depressed, but it'd be my fun to watch college football. You know, because I said, you know, like the Eagles, Tony. If the Eagles go in there and get their ass handed to them, I'm gonna be more. I'm trying to get over this week. But if the Chiefs just beat them up and down the field, all the MCC, see, I knew it. They're not qualified. They got no business being there. They played a tender schedule all year long, except for the exception of 2 or 3 games, and they got past us because they killed the quarterbacks on. They're not better. Anyway, Tony.
I agree.
I'll see you Sunday.
All right, sir. I'll see you, sir.
Night, Tony. Oh, God. It's just... That's why I'm not sure if I want to watch the Super Bowl. You know, because you and I both know, if we sit there and watch it, the Chiefs have just got to be pulled off the Eagles. I'm saying, see, you knew it. And Eagles fans running around on Twitter, man, you guys are just salty because you lost. Y'all ain't better. If y'all was better, why didn't you win the game? See, you can't say nothing, see? I did, but actually it's a moot point. It was already put, who was that that said, hey, if that team come in, that was Terradome, they come in and kill your quarterback, good on them. They beat your ass. Fam, enough rationale. I will see you Sunday if you got time. We talk some more 49er football. Because the Super Bowl's next weekend, right? Yeah, next week. We ain't got to put up with him this week. Anyway, have a great night. I'll see you Sunday. Something else is going to come in. There's some other things I want to talk about with you as well. But Group Hog, fam, we're okay. Thanks to the contributions, fam. Always appreciated. Night